Emerson gonna clear Mayato. Not gonna go low. He's gonna try and fake the 48. Travato using the inside lane. Mayato now up half a groove. The second position looks for his first race. And hard contact. Mayato up in the air, up on the hood, on top of the Geico machine. All over his back bumper. He's gonna have to be very tactical with his moves. Oh, and hard under braking. Travato nearly locked it up there. St. Bear's big slide out of turn number 1. Here comes Chris Samar, Kevin Cornelius. They're going to make a charge in the third lane. Is it too little, too late? Are they going to have the run out of turn number 4? Mark Emerson down low. They're all going to wreck. Dennis Fairclough in the lead right now. Here comes Nick Gardner. Hello and welcome to the Below the Double Yellow Cup Series live tonight for the Michigan Marathon 300 from Michigan International Speedway. This is the regular season finale, the Chase cutoff race, and drivers going to be fighting to get into the top 12 in that regular season championship on the line here tonight. My name's Adam Baker. I'm joined in the booth with Alec Martinez. Alec, what are you looking forward to here tonight?
Well, like you said, the regular season cutoff. There's 2 points battles within this race. The first points battle at the top of the points board, Zach Carr, last week's winner at Talladega, gaining him a crazy amount of points after AJ Stravato finished last, and Zach Carr ended up winning the race last week at Talladega. Now he comes in as the points leader and a possible chance at the regular season championship, but he's got the big 3 that we've had this entire season: Zach Carr, AJ Stravato, and Seth Hatchell. Those 3 separated by 23 points in this race tonight, battling for the regular season championship to go into the Chase starting in 2 weeks, which I believe the first race there is at Daytona, which is going to be absolutely insane. But we look at the Chase. Regular season champion gets some bonus points and a little extra cold hard cash to go with it. And then we look again with the second points battle within this race, the points battle to have a shot at a championship and race for a championship in Daytona. I'm looking here, we got 7, 8 guys that can actually have a chance at missing. All these 7 guys are competing for 6 spots. 1 guy is going to leave here tonight without a shot at having a chance at a championship going in for the chase for the BTDY Cup.
Yeah, it's pretty wild that there are still so many drivers not locked in. There's only 2 on the outside of the cut line that are going to be able to make it in on points. Jeremy Stanley on back. They don't have the ability to get enough points here tonight. So they have been eliminated officially from chase contention. But how about Eric Lambert still in the running? He has an opportunity. It's going to take a perfect race. He would have to win, and there'd have to be some misfortune from those guys out there in front of him. So it's going to be very interesting to see how that all shakes out. Up there at the top, though, like you said, Zach Carr, AJ Stravato, Seth Hatchell, all fighting for that regular season championship, and it is tight there. And it's going to be exciting amongst those 3, the big 3 who have won all of the races here this season, except for the one that Ben Bafford got a couple weeks ago. As we are entering the qualifying session, tonight's race is a 300-mile event, so there's going to be a lot of patience needed for this race. I think you're going to have to bide your time. There's 150 laps around this 2-mile racetrack. I think these guys are really going to have to pace themselves tonight.
Yes, they are. And, you know, we talk about 300-mile race here. Longest race of the season. This is the same length that we see at the Auto Club Speedway, which is the sister track here to Michigan. A full-length Xfinity Series race. And I believe the full-length Xfinity Series race this year at the Michigan International Speedway later, I believe in July or August, somewhere around there, at the end of the regular season for the NASCAR Cup Series and Xfinity Series. But like we said, a full-length Xfinity Series race for these below the W Line Cup Series drivers. That is a long race. Like you said, you got to pace yourself. But you know what that means? If we pace yourself, we're going to have green flag pit stops. Michigan is notorious for having green flag pit stops during these races. During the Cup Series races, Xfinity Series races, there's always a green flag cycle. Now you throw in a long race. In iRacing, this tends not to be the greatest amount of green flag laps here, but I think that these guys, they've been clean all season. I think we're going to see definitely some green flag pit stops. And looking, there's only 5 sets of tires. I believe you're going to have to make 6 or 7 pit stops today. What stops are you not going to want to take tires on? And what stops are you going to want to take tires on is going to be a big question. And then, obviously, with this new next-gen car, we haven't taken it to Michigan International Speed. We've taken it to Fontana, which is a completely different racing service than here at Michigan. So, looking at these guys, they're saying it's going to be a little bit of draft involved, but the guys were also complaining about dirty air. That was a little bit of a problem. So, I'm looking forward to seeing track position probably being a big thing, which has always been a thing here at Michigan.
Yeah, I agree. It's going to be a battle for some of these guys that start farther back. They'll have the benefit of the draft, but they're also going to have all that dirty air. As we take a look right now at the leaderboards, Ben Bafford currently fastest on the racetrack, almost a tenth faster than Reggie Ortega. Ryan Gemmel, who has his lone career BTDY Cup Series win, came at this racetrack a few seasons back. Let's see what he does. Nice solid lap time from him there. That'll jump him up to the 5th position. How about Nick Starling, also top 5 qualifying so far? Couple drivers who have been very strong here these last few weeks in Ben Bafford and Nick Starling up there with some great lap times. Cosman on the racetrack may not have gotten a lap in. I think they're only getting 1 timed lap here.
They are, which is interesting. So, yeah, first lap is definitely going to be big. So now, but look at that. We talked about a story this season. Adrian Stavato, who has been one of the big 3, hasn't been great on qualifying. He is stuck in 16th right now. We still have guys starting their laps like Seth Noel, Josiah Vincent, Keith Mayato. Cosman is also starting his lap. Vincent, I could see Stavato falling outside the top 20. So I am really going to be curious to see how Stavato is going to stack up. And obviously, we just talked about it. Track position is going to be a huge factor into this race tonight. We've been seeing that dirty air aero push has been a little bit of a big deal with these cars. We know that they've tried to take aero push away, and they've gotten a little bit away depending on the track, but Michigan's always been one of those tracks. You got to have your car trimmed out, and these cars are trimmed out a little bit, and being behind somebody, you don't have all that clean air going to the nose, could be a problem as we see later into this race. As you can see, Seth Noel.
Seth Noel
goes to
with
4th.
The 4th place run. Yeah, he finished runner-up in last week's event. So close to his first win in his first race, and now going to be starting up here towards the top 5 in tonight's event. So a couple good qualifying efforts from him, back-to-back races, and look for him to maybe challenge those big 3 for a victory tonight. Some notable drivers not taking a lap time: Keith Mayato. Jeremiah Vincent also going to be farther back here. Timmy Emanuele, Kenny Bishop, another driver who's right up there in the right around the cutoff line. He's going to be starting towards the back here tonight as well. Eric Lambert qualifies 13th out of 19 that have taken times, so he'll need to pick up the pace a little bit. I know he said this is a better track for him, and we'll see if he has anything here to maybe win the race and get himself into that. Into the chase, but we got to go to a quick commercial break. It looks like Ben Bafford going to get, I believe, his 3rd pole this season, so great qualifying effort by the 23. We'll be back to check out where all of your favorite drivers are starting here too.
Welcome to VSPEED, your home for sim racing excitement, providing dramatic moments from iRacing and beyond. We offer broadcasting for leagues across iRacing with specialized packages to help grow your league and advertise your sponsors.
Shot at it, I think, and right now Stravato with that advantage. It's half a car length the difference between first and second going into turn one. He gives the bumper to Connor Horn.
These two have gone all year to get to this point. Jacob Shorba drifting up the racetrack. They make contact. The 88 goes around. The 95 goes around. The 12 caught in it.
Our design team can help you create anything from paint schemes to sim rig parts with expertise in both 2D and 3D design with 3D printing capabilities. Looking to get into broadcasting yourself? We can help you design and operate custom overlays to make your stream look as professional as possible. Our team can create and manage custom merchandise sales for you and your team. Check out our shop to see what we have in stock and how we can create some awesome merch for you. Check out our race replays on YouTube or catch us live weekly on Twitch. Visit us at vspeedsim.com to see how we can help you on your iRacing journey.
All right, and back at the racetrack now here from Michigan International Speedway. Going to be taking a look at our starting grid for tonight's race. Ben Bafford will be starting up there on the pole. His third of the season. Great job there by him to get that lap in. Take a look at the rest of grid here tonight. So Ben Bafford going to get that top spot, 38.942, the fast lap tonight. Reggie Ortega going to be rolling off from the second position. Good starting spot for the number 2 machine, rolling off from P2 here tonight. Seth Hatchell starts from third. Noel in fourth, so the Seth and Seth show in row 2. Nick Starling rolls off from fifth. Ryan Gemmel starting in sixth. Seventh tonight, Chris Samard. Kyle McGarvey will roll off from eighth. Angelo Rona starts in ninth, and Dallas Sullivan is going to round out the top 10.
Starting 11th, Eric Hutton. Starting 12th, Alan Dice. Eric Lambert, after a good third-place run, needs a solid run tonight to see if he can get into the chase for the below the double Yellow Line Cup Series Championship. He'll be going in rolling off 13th. Cody Atkins, 14th. Zach Carr, one of the big three, will be rolling off 15th. Also last week's winner. Dennis Faircloth, who I believe... Oh, no, Eric Lambert won the pole last week. Never mind. Don't listen to what I say. Dennis Faircloth will be in 16th. TJ Brenda will be in 17th. AJ Servato, another one of those big three that will be rolling off 18th. 19th, Lyle Selfridge. And 20th will be Cosman.
21st tonight, Keith Mayato. 22nd, Jeremiah Vincent, who comes in one position below the cut line. 6 points out. He's got a lot of work to do. His brother, Josiah Vincent, going to be starting in 23rd. Timmy Emanuele rolls off 24th. Kenny Bishop, 25th. Jordan Shepler, 26th. Zach Smith, 27th, and Robert Gilmore going to round out the field tonight in 28th position. So decent field size, but not as many as we've seen at times this season. So hopefully that leads to a nice clean race tonight. But there's a lot of pressure on a lot of guys out here.
A lot of pressure, a lot of laps to lug tonight. And let me tell you, a lot of battles in the points now. Should we pull out somebody up before we get going here? I don't know if we have enough time, but really make it short and sweet. Who should we get?
Yeah, how about we pull in, how about Dallas Sullivan? He's
Dallas
a driver
Sullivan.
who's had a good season so far and might find
He's
his
on the
way
bubble.
in the top 12 tonight.
All right, let's get him in here. Dallas Sullivan, Alec Martinez, and Adam Baker in the booth. You got a copy?
Hello, Alec. I do. How are y'all doing?
Hello. I'm doing good. I'm curious, how are you feeling? Long race tonight. You're on the You're on the cutoff line for the chase. How are we feeling going into this?
I am, gotta admit, a little nervous here. I like the long races though. No stages, so maybe we get this nice long green flag run. Throw a little pit strategy in the mix. See how this thing plays out.
Heck yeah, man. Well, we wish you the best of luck, man, and go get him today.
Thanks, man. Appreciate your support.
Appreciate you.
All right, that is Dallas Sullivan. He'll start from 10th position at night. Good spot to start from. And there are bonus points on the line here for drivers who capture the pole, who lead some laps. And so he's going to be looking to probably get as many points as he can here. I expect Dallas to pull some kind of a strategy at some point tonight and maybe get out front here and lead some laps. Is Ben Bafford going to lead us to the green flag tonight? Reggie Ortega to his outside, the regular season finale for the Below the Double Yellow Cup Series. Off and away, green flag in the air from Michigan International Speedway. Bafford trying to take control out of turn number 2. He is going to clear the 2 machine of Reggie Ortega and Hatchell, who's also pretty solid at this place. Right there, slots into 3rd. We've got battling farther back. That's AJ Stravato down low. He goes, or actually, no, that is Zach Carr. And we've got contact around Faircloth.
Oh, the 33's in it too.
And Zach Carr.
All of them wrecking. Lambert's in it.
Oh my goodness, Stravato's lost the nose on his race car.
And Zach Carr doesn't have a back end. Zach Carr killed AJ Stravato, Seth Hatchell. Up in the top 2 already. Involved, and now, oh my god, there was like separate incidents happening there the entire time. Big developments early.
Taking a look here with Zach Carr down there. Gets loose, so does Alan Dice. Both of them lose it basically at the same time. Oh man, a lot of impacts. Oh, Alan Dice, huge hit.
For Dice.
Jeremiah Vincent just
Osmond's in it.
Oh,
Bishop's
Kenny Bishop
in it. Then Josiah Vincent's in it. Gilmore.
Let's go on board here with Jeremiah Vincent. He snuck through this. Look at this. They're all wrecking in front. Keith Maotto right there. I think Keith also made it through. Oh my goodness. That is maybe the move to make it in the top 12 with Kenny Bishop getting damage here. That could be. There were
other guys. Lambert. I think Lambert being in that involved might as well is probably going to eliminate him out of any chance. Dennis Faircloth, who was not really safe on point, only 28 points, or actually 22 points above the cutoff. He's involved in that. Alan Dice, who I believe got eliminated out last week, he was in it. Jeremiah just missing it. And then Kenny Bishop, who was only 7 points up above the cut line, involved in that. Josiah Vincent slides into it. Then into Zach Carr. Zach Carr, the points leader going into this race, involved. And the second place driver in points also involved in AJ Stravato. 2 of the big 3 drivers eliminated on lap 1.
Oh, man, you got to feel for some of these guys, too, just trying to get by it. Cosman took a couple big shots right there. Shepler, yeah, gets into it. Kenny Bishop, though, that could be his season essentially up in smoke right there. The 4 machine, definitely a lot of damage on that race car. Is a lot of these drivers now on to pit road. Let's see, Timmy Emanuele, I think he was able to mostly make it through. So let's see how many were involved in this. Jordan Shepler, Lyle Sulfridge, Eric Lambert, Dennis Faircloth, TJ Brendel, AJ Stravato, heavily damaged. That's going to probably be his shot at the championship. Gone. Cosman involved. Robert Gilmore, Josiah Vincent, Alan Dice, Zach Carr, Kenny Bishop, Zach Smith. So that is, holy cow, that is
half the field.
14 cars. Yeah, that is literally
exactly
half the field.
And on lap 1 of a 150 lap race, you hate to just a lot of guys. You just hate to see that for a lot of guys, and especially the guys that are right above the cutoff, like Kenny Bishop, Dennis Faircloth. Now, a big points development. Jeremiah Vincent, who missed that wreck, only 6 points below the cutoff going into the race under Dallas Sullivan. He's probably gonna, jump Bishop, and Dennis Faircloth is gonna be. It's gonna be between Kenny Bishop and Dennis Faircloth to make it in probably for the last spot. This is if nobody else gets involved, like Dallas Sullivan, Chris Samard, Eric Hutton, any of those guys getting involved in an incident, which is still very possible in this 300-lap race. But having half the field get out, we could see this race go green for a very, very long time.
We're hearing 20 minutes of required damage for the 4 machine, so
Wow.
he is going to be in deep trouble here. This is probably his season over. At least any shot at the championship is going to be over for him. So
Another big development. Sorry to cut you off. Dennis Faircloth did claim the caution, so that I believe is a 3-point penalty. So yeah,
Good boy.
that's also big, with Faircloth only being up above by 14. Or if I'm looking at the right,
I'm surprised he claimed
yeah,
it because it did
well,
not
'cause he
look
didn't look like it was his fault.
I think it was the 5 and the 27 really that lost it at the front, but maybe he was losing it somewhere else. We didn't see it, but I don't really know how that makes any sense to me. But either way, we're about to go back green here after an early crash with championship implications. Ben Bafford off and away with a great restart here. He's going to lead the field down into turn 1.
He is. Great jump for the 23, and behind them, Seth Noel in that 29 is going to dive in underneath Ortega and Hatchell. And he's going to look for that second place position. He's going to be side by side off the corner with Ortega, but Ortega's going to have the draft down the backstretch. They slice and dice behind them. Ronis goes underneath the 37, and behind Ronis is the 7 of Nick Starling.
Yeah, so Hatchell really just needs to run a solid, clean race at this point in the championship.
Oh, trouble! McGarvey gets loose in the corner. Oh, and he's ran into the outside wall.
Oh, man, big hit, head-on impact. I think Cody Adkins also involved in this. He's taken it behind the wall already. Oh, my goodness. These guys having so much trouble down into turn number 3. And caution number 2 is out already.
Talking to the drivers in practice, they were saying that they could see turn 3 being the trouble spot. Cars do unsettle there, and they get really loose. And that right there, just another example of somebody getting right loose into the corners. You'd see he'll try to go into the corner here. And that back end's just going to get loose right under there. You can see it snap around. He goes up to the outside to miss. He'll get up to the outside. Well, let's see what happened to Cody Atkins, who, separate incident, got loose and went straight up into the outside wall and then just disconnected.
Let's take a look here at McGarvey. Yeah, just big hit there, head-on impact into the turn 3 wall. And everybody else makes it on by. So that's good that nobody else got collected in this. But, man, we are losing drivers left and right. Already 1, 2, 3, 4 have taken it behind the wall here. Just 6 laps into this thing. It's going to be a race of attrition, I think. Somehow it's going to be a race of attrition with one of our smaller field sizes and one of the biggest tracks we go to. Wow, this has turned out entirely different from how I expected.
Yeah, a little different start than what I was thinking. Yeah, a lot of implications already involving championship contenders. Yeah, I don't. This is just already, man.
I wonder if they pull out the backup cars here, like they did in the what was that, the 2000 or 99 All-Star race, or back then when they went into turn 1 and the track was wet, they pulled out all the backups. That's how this race is.
Backups.
Oh, they had backups for that All-Star race.
Yeah, I don't think these guys have backups.
Oh, I don't think they do. Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm just saying.
That's a good idea, though.
I wish.
Well, speaking of next week, possible. I'm hearing that there could be a vote next week going into next week, but where's the All-Star race is supposed to be at Rockingham, but I've heard somewhere around the grapevine that we may not be racing at Rockingham. Might be a little crazier, but there I've heard they'll definitely have some backups. Going in to next week, a little fast repairs going into next week, which I've heard possibly at the taking these guys to Europe on the European oval of Monza, which is going to be an insane race, especially with these next gen cars. It'll be a spectacle. But next week, nonetheless, It's an all-star race, money on the line. Last year I was fortunate enough to win that one at the Bristol Dirt Race. So next year next week, looking forward to a little all-star action, money on the line, no points. It's going to be crazy. Elbows are going to come out. Who knows what we're going to see, no matter what track we race at.
Yeah, that track is a lot of fun. I've driven a bunch of different kinds of cars there. NASCARs. I've driven Indy cars around there when they go to the Lara Dash there. That race is always insane. You're going so fast, and the track is so bumpy. These NASCARs, they don't really like that drop off into turn number 1 at Monza. So that's going to be very interesting to see if we do end up going there. But we're about to get another restart here. Ben Bafford's led the entire way so far. Just 7 laps completed in this one. 2 cautions already.
Oh boy.
And
I think another thing we got to consider here. Obviously, this being a 300-mile race, if we do go green, which I could see, I mean, half the field's already gone, which we could see this go maybe green to the end if they can make it more than a lap. Ben Bafford's going to be the leader, but we've seen with these drafts, the draft down the straightaway, and we see it in draft-style races, the leader tends to burn fuel off the most because he's the one that's, out not lifting enough, or not lifting a lot compared to the guys behind him, whether being in the air, or they can even save on the straightaway, quarter throttle, half throttle down the straightaway. So I'm curious to see what's going to happen here and how it's going to affect pit stops. Obviously, we've had decent amount of caution laps to save fuel, but remember, if we are able to go green, we're going to have green flag pit stops. I will say that it's going to be a matter not of if, but when we're going to have green flag pit stops.
Yeah, and how many are we going to have in a row before we get our next caution?
Good question.
We may not get any before we get our next yellow. Let's wait and find out. Ben Bafford, another great restart here. Seth Noel up there on the top side, going to get a push from Seth Hatchell. And Reggie Ortega down there by himself. No real help down there as the field kind of broken up into 2 groups right now. You've got all these clean race cars up at the front. Then the second group of cars towards the back. Those guys all damaged heavily as it is going to be Ben Bafford leading the field down the backstretch once again into turn number 3. We'll see if they can make it through and survive this time. It's going to be a challenge for the race lead, though. Here comes Noel.
I think last week he told me it was Noel. So
is it Noel?
I think it's Noel.
I thought he corrected you because you were calling him Noel, but I don't remember. It's one of those. As he's going to take the lead at the line.
How about it? Look at that push, though, that Bafford's going to get from Ortega. As you can see, backing up into the corner, going in at about 202 miles an hour. These guys love seeing those speeds back. We see it with these little spoilers on the back end of these cars and having a lot more horsepower than we've had in the last few years. Seeing these speeds going really high up, as we could see Bafford closing back in behind the 29, but I could see him just riding a little bit. But how is he going to counter the aero push, if there is a lot, or any, being behind these guys?
On board with Reggie Ortega. He got a great run down into turn 3, but had to lift. Was not able to get back in the throttle as soon as those 2 in front of him. But you can see the draft at work right here. Look at, he closes right up. These guys nose to tail as they dive into turn number 1. And that is a great shot right there. Over 200 miles an hour. That's nice to see again. At a non-super speedway. Is battle for the race lead. Here comes Bafford on the top side. Reggie Ortega going to give some assist there. And Seth in the 29 down there on the inside. Not going to be able to fight that.
Slingshot. And Ortega with that slingshot. With both those guys stalling each other out. And Ortega's going to go to the lead. 3 lead changes already. This race already looking very similar to what we saw at the Auto Club Speedway, which is a track that we really haven't been able, or something we really haven't been able to say, is to compare a track that we've seen these cars race on. This race looking a lot like what we saw at Auto Club.
Yeah, and they are absolutely flying out here tonight. This is really cool to see, as we did have a change of position a little farther back. Look at Eric Hutton. He is just wheeling it up on that top side. A driver who's had a lot of speed, still looking for his first win of the season. That 88 car, always one to watch. And he is up to 6th right now after starting in 11th, and he is continuing to work the top side.
Something I thought we wouldn't really see is these guys starting to work that top. You see Eric Hutton being the only one that's been able to venture up there. I think other guys might be letting him kind of rubber in that top and let him burn his tires off. Obviously, no rubber up there. He's going to have to lay down a lot of rubber from his tires, but you can see he's making some time up. But the question is, how many laps does he want to go up there, and will it burn off his tires?
Yeah, both he and Nick Starling down there in the 38.9s. Yeah, look, he's got the run to the outside of Samard, and he's just going to let him go, it looks like. But Nick Starling and Eric Hutton both in the 38.9s. A good sign for both of those drivers. Everybody else up in the 39-second bracket now. As Ortega leading the way. He was really quick in practice, so keep an eye on him for his first career win tonight. The two machine looking good out in front right now. But so much time left in this thing.
A lot of time.
Take a look at the championship contenders, championship leader tonight. Zach Carr in 20th, 6 laps down. Just trying to make some laps out here. AJ Stravato is actually taking it behind the wall, so he is done 2 weeks in a row early problems for the 33. And so that is going to be his chance at the championship over with.
Up
leading.
Front. Eric Hutton. He is making that top line work, and now Noel's going to be forced down to the bottom, slot back up. Hatch will look for him, give him some room early in this race. But let me tell you, Eric Hutton, we've seen on these bigger tracks, he's had some speed. He's just have gotten into incidents that were either of his fault or not of his fault, and hasn't been really able to capitalize on the speed he's had this entire season. As you can see here, another week where that 88 is fast, and he's already up to second after starting. Where did he start?
11th.
Question. 11th.
Yeah, he is flying through the field right now. Fastest car on the racetrack last time by 4/10 faster than Reggie Ortega. He's running lap times. Yeah, he's running lap times like he was running, 3-4 laps ago, and everybody else is falling off steadily. And that time again, 2/10 faster.
He's got some. He might have some extra horsepower in that car, if we're being honest here. He is really making that top work, but look at the run he's able to generate down the front stretch. He is able to just haul the mail down the straightaway. So you can see Ortega, who's been punching the biggest hole in the air. Look at that run, but that air bubble beach ball effect will kind of stall him out a little bit. Curious to see if he can find a way around that too.
Trying to go to the top side now. Reggie's going to leave that lane way open as, again, Hutton up to the top side. Not going to be able to do anything that time. Maybe a little bit tight on exit. Here comes the run, though. And he's going to have a shot down into turn 1. But he's just going to decide to stay in line.
And behind them, Nick Starling was able to capitalize on a pass on Ryan Gemmel. And you can see he saw what Eric Hutton's been doing. He's going to venture up to the outside lane and try to take away the 6th position from Chris Samartin, which he's going to be side by side out the corner. And he will take it. And behind them, Angelo Ronis and Ryan Gemmel side by side. Ronis will tuck back in line. And speaking of Angelo Ronis and Seth Tacho, we saw a heck of a finish at Auto Club between those two. This track very similar to those two, and their strategy, taking 2 tires with green flag pit stops, in which I could see coming up very soon. How will 2 tires work? Will 4 tires work? We saw at Martinsville this weekend in the Rail Cup Series, drivers saying there wasn't enough wear on the left side tires to really wear out enough to where they could have gotten away with 2 tires. So I'm curious to see how it's going to work taking 2 or 4 during this entire race, as we've seen. Only 5, I believe there's only 5 sets, so I'm curious to see what happens here. Hutton down to the inside.
Yeah, changing lanes here. The 88, to the lead. But Reggie backed off early. He's going to have a great run on exit as Hutton gets tight. Here comes Reggie back to the bottom.
Bafford's going to have a big run with these guys stalling out now. Hutton back down to the side draft of 2. He's going to pull him back now. Bafford's going to come up behind the 88. Still side by side going into 1.
Really amazing racing out here as there goes Starling up to the top side of Seth, Noel, and the 88 of Hutton.
Oh, man, almost contact between Starling and then 29 and Noel. Look at these guys. Look at Starling starting to make his way up to the front, right in behind that 23 of Ben Bafford.
I tell you what, Nick had a good race at one of these tracks a couple seasons ago, only to, I think, lose it towards the end of the race. But he is definitely showing off the wheels tonight. The 7 moving his way back up.
23.
Yeah, both of those guys. He's all over Ben Bafford right now as Keith Mayato, the last one in this front pack, in 10th position. These guys have broken away from Dallas Sullivan, who rides in 11th. And Dallas, all he needs to do is bring it home in one piece, and he is going to be moving on tonight. And then Jeremiah Vincent, who's actually up here in 12th. Also a clean race car. Both those guys looking like they're going to be advancing into the chase. So that's going to be good news for both of them. Is at the front. Reggie Ortega almost gets into Eric Hutton.
Saw the exhaust flame there. He had to lift a little bit. He's going to pull back that 88. Curious to see what Baffert does. Baffert's going to tuck in behind the 88 here, and it's going to push the 88 enough to get to his door. So you can see here, curious to see is now Starling is going to go to the outside of the 23, and he's there. Now we have 2 rows of side by side. What is Seth Noel going to do, who's going to have a massive run on these guys? Up at the front, though, Ortega down to the inside. He's going to get tight underneath the 88. Not able to do anything there, but now behind them, Nick Starling, who has cleared the 23 of Baffert. He's getting a shove from the 23. The 29 shoving the 23 side by side down the front stretch. Hutton leads that lap. Can Ortega slide in? No, he can't. Look at the run Starling has.
Nick Starling on the move as well. He started in 5th, but he fell back, I think, the back half of the top 10, really. And, yeah, he is there now, battling with those race leaders. Behind him, Ben Baffert, Seth Noel. This is good stuff up here at the front tonight.
Starling giving a shove to the 88 of Eric Hutton. Man, curious to see. I wish that we didn't have that first lap wreck. I really would have been curious to see if we had, maybe if we were able to have another 4 or 5 clean race cars that weren't involved in that wreck. But look at that now. Baffert going down to shove the 2 of Ortega. Noel's going to pop out of line. He's going to go underneath the 23. And everybody's going to take him 3 wide into 1.
And Noel, the big send down into the corner. He's going to go alongside Nick Starling now, who's going to take 2nd.
Noel doing something I don't think I've ever seen before in this game, is using that bottom lane and making it stick, but still just doesn't have any help on the inside to push or draft with. And Ortega and Starling are going to clear down into 3, but now back down to the inside. Seth Noel trying to make it work.
You gotta wonder if this 88 and the 7 running that top side for so many laps there, it burned some stuff up. If they're gonna start to fade here and everybody else maybe starts to drive away, but they're out in front right now. They've got the track position, which is so important here at Michigan. Is a top 10 all single file line right now, but I don't think it's gonna stay that way for very long.
I don't think it will there, and as well as I don't know if we were able to see it. I'd love to see an onboard with Reggie Ortega here going to 3s. He gets tucked up behind Nick Starling. Does that nose push away from the 7? Able to get some clean air, but you can see Starling able to kind of almost take that air away, but he's able to get his nose under there. Now they're going to be side by side off of 4. What does Ben Baffert do? Baffert's going to tuck up behind the 7, push the 7 back. Eric Hutton starting to get a little bit of a gap from them. Baffert pushes the 7 by the 2, can't slide in line. He's going to go from 2nd back down to 5th.
And how quickly things can change just like that. As you know, I raced with Hutton here a couple seasons ago in the Xfinity series, and it was me and him all race long. You know, in the second half of that race, he was on my tail and he was chasing me down, and it was a scary thing to watch. He knows his way around this place.
Ortega absolutely just slammed the back end of Seth Noel. With Ortega now has a little bit of left front damage. Noel doesn't really have much. We've seen with these composite bodies, these cars being pretty durable. Curious to see how much that's going to affect Reggie Ortega, as Noel's going to go down to the inside underneath Baffert, and now side by side with Starling.
Oh, and we got a little blinking there, but yeah, the battle for 2nd. Starling still able to hang on to that.
Baffert thought about taking that 3 wide, but he'll tuck in behind the 7. They'll push past the 29. 29 going to fall out of line there.
There is so much movement up here in the top 5. They just keep swapping positions side by side out of turn number 4. It's going to be Starling trying. Oh, and he's going to block. He pulled up to the top side. Baffert went to the low side, and they swap lanes again.
Baffert down to the inside. He's looking like he's going to challenge the 88 of Eric Hutton. He's going to use that white or that yellow line down to the bottom, trying to see if he can get up to that 88. He can't. He'll clear the 7. Almost puts him in the wall. Starling having to lift. They're going to go side by side now. And now they got pushers, the 29 behind the 7 and the 2 behind the 23 and the 3.
That was a very close call for Nick Starling and Ben Baffert. And Ben, you know, he's aggressive. You know, Nick's going to be aggressive too. He doesn't always get the chance to run up here at the front with these guys, but he has shown some good speed here these last few races, and it's definitely, you know, deserved here tonight. He is up in the mix, and he is duking it out with these guys. This is really fun to watch. As Seth Noel going to try and make the move around Ben Baffert here through turns 1 and 2. He will get past, but gonna have to check up right on the back bumper of that 7 machine.
You see, and behind them, it's looking like now the 29 just tucked up behind that 7 as the 7's going to go down to the inside now. Can he clear Eric Hutton? Yes, he can. Nick Starling to the point. No, he can't actually. Hutton's going to fight back down to the outside. What does Noel do? Noel's going to tuck behind the 88. Can the 7 slide in behind the 29? No, he can't. Reggie Ortega is going to go down to 3rd. Noel now going to challenge the 88 for the lead.
Yeah, and that was interesting there. I think Nick got a little bit squirrely in 3 and 4, and he was not able to keep up the momentum, and that's why he lost so much ground right there. But he falls back to 4th as Hutton continues to show the way. Nobody's really been able to get past him once he's gotten out here, but Seth Noel is going to give it a shot. He's going to do what Nick Starling couldn't, and he's going to pull up in front and clear him for the
Hutton's
moment.
Gonna have a big. Oh no, he got tight. A little bit of that dirty air, you can see it there. He had to lift. Ortega's going to slide into second. Look at Nick Starling with the push for the 23. He's going to go underneath the 88.
They are just coming and going lap after lap, and he's going to try and take second from Reggie Ortega. I don't think he's going to have the momentum here at all as he tries to slide up. He's not going to be able to do that. Has to check up there. Seth Noel trying to break the draft. Good move there, but it's not going to be enough as Ortega with a push from Hutton.
You know what we forgot to do?
Pick our drivers.
Pick our drivers. Yeah. We'll have to do that next time.
Yeah.
Dang. It's all good though.
It is a new tradition, so it's understandable we would we'd mess that up. But how about
It's
this?
all good.
Ben Bafford, Nick Starling side by side is out in front. It is still Seth Noel holding off Reggie Ortega. But cool to see some of these guys up here in the mix, as also Dallas Sullivan and Jeremiah Vincent. They've gotten nose to tail here, and that's interesting. They're both fighting for the final spots in the chase, but with their
These guys might want to work together here. See if they can catch up to the draft, number 1. Number 2, just kind of have a nice solid race. No need, if they could just stay where they are, they'll be advancing into the chase for the BTDY Cup.
Yeah, and also as things sit, Seth Hatchell in 5th would not get enough points to catch up to Zach Carr, I believe. He needs about 10 more points.
He needs to lead a lap, and he needs to win the race, I think, is what it's at here. Well, where is Zach Carr? 18th, yeah, that's definitely not enough. But I'm curious to see, as you can see, Reggie Ortega goes underneath Seth Noel for the lead. He's going to get now. Hutton's going to get right on that quarter panel, the 29. Pull him back. This is a little contact down the front backstretch. And now Bafford's going to tug up behind the 29.
Man, this is just wild stuff. Very similar to what we saw at Auto Club, except I think they're going a little bit faster here all the way around. So that's the difference. As
like
oh my gosh,
man,
that was so
the
close.
apples have come out a little bit more than what they have at Auto Club, but we'll say there is more money on the line here tonight. As you can see, that 29 tucked up behind the 2 of Reggie Ortega. But like I said, a little more money on the line here. The stakes are just a little bit higher here, especially for the regular season championship. And man, I cannot wait to get to the chase and see the aggression get ramped up even more.
Top 4 nose to tail there, and then it's Hatchell, Samard, and also Nick Starling there behind them. Look at this, almost 3 wide for the race lead. Reggie's going to be able to slide down in front of the 23 of Ben Bafford. Slows him up a little bit, and now Seth Noel might have a bit of a run on the exit. We'll see if he's able to do anything. Here comes Hutton with him. He'll push the 29 right to the inside of the race lead.
Can he get by is the question. We know that Seth's going to send it in there. Look at that. Clears the 2, but can he slide up right in front of him? Yes, he can. Seth Noel to the top of the... I can't talk. To the top of the leaderboard.
There's been a lot of talking happening here really fast. A lot of things going on up here at the point. And Seth Noel taking over that top spot. Reggie Ortega has had a really good, strong run so far. Started second. He's led some laps. Looking for that first career win. And they're going to have it's going to be a tough race to win, I think, at this rate. Any of these guys could win this thing.
Again, we still have green flag pit stops. I'm curious to see. I think a guy we should be watching is that Auto Club winner of Seth Hatchell, who's sitting back right behind Ben Bafford in 5th. Seth's probably been saving his tires, and let me tell you, now he's going to have a big run. And his teammate, Chris Samard, another guy that was on the belt for the chase, having a solid top 10 run. As you can see, Hatchell looks up, Bafford cuts him off. But, man, Hatchell, that's another guy you want to watch out for, and obviously one of the big 3 drivers.
Yeah, and if he could get up there and potentially win this race from this point, and if Zach Carr, finishes where he's at, or maybe can't even continue this race, it's very possible Seth could just barely edge him out for points. I think
possible.
it's going to be very, very tight as it sits. But it's definitely still a shot. It's still possible, and Seth Hatchell is going to be going for it. He is. Look at the big run here out of turn number 2. Reggie Ortega all over Seth Noel.
Hatchell.
Yep, there goes Seth as we speak of him to the inside.
See, now Baffert's going to try to take this 3 wide to the middle. Not going to be able to do it unless Hutton gets tied out the corner, which he does. Now they're going to be 3 wide for the 3rd position. Baffert pulls back the 88. He'll tuck in behind. Now the 8 goes up to the top. And look at Chris Samard in that 37 V-Speed Chevrolet Camaro. He'll get up behind Hatchell, and Baffert's going to clear Hutton into 1. And man, I tell you, this is just getting crazy. But I've started to notice as well, Eric Hutton and Nick Starling are starting to kind of fall back a little bit. Maybe using up those fresh Goodyears up on that outside could be starting to hurt them just a tad bit.
That is something that we've seen from both of those drivers in the past with these next-gen cars. Seems if you don't take care of the tires really tight at the front.
Ortega just almost getting into the 29. Like I said, we see these boys get their elbows out and starting roughing up a little bit, a little beating and banging here at Michigan. Look at Eric Hutton with a huge run. He's going to push the 2 down into turn 1 and now into 1. Noel's going to get tight.
Contact.
Oh, he moves him up the track. No harm, no foul. Beating and banging here at the Michigan International Speedway. Baffert's going to push the 29 down the backstretch. Clear Ortega. Baffert is second. Ortega trying to side wrap the 23.
We've got a lap car out in front of the race leaders here. Robert Gilmore, who currently rides in 16th, still on the lead lap. Last car on the lead lap, but heavily damaged. The throwback singular machine for Simulators Anonymous. He's about to lose a lap here. The leader's going to try and make their way past cleanly. It could be tricky, though, the way that they've been racing.
He's going to the middle, and he's going to the top. Curious to see now. Noel's going to have an interesting exit off the corner. Gilmore's going to stay high here. Everybody should be able to get by cleanly. But look at how much that hurt Baffert. As you can see, he probably had a lift being right underneath the 40. The 2's going to get underneath him. And now, what does Eric Hutton do? They'll go side by side into turn 3, and it looks like Ortega's going to be able to clear him, and he does.
Yeah, so Reggie back to second here, and he'll probably get a big shove down the front stretch by the 23. Ben almost jumped out of line. Here comes Hutton with a big shove from Hatchell. And Noel all by himself down there on the inside. He's going to feel these guys coming quickly here.
Good of him shaking off the draft, but I'm curious how much of a run, if the 2 and the 23 were more organized, how much does that hurt them? As you can see, that's going to affect Noel there. Is now, look at Ortega, the run that he's going to have. Does he take it? Yes, he does. Down to the inside, going into 3. Can he clear the 29? The 29's going to run him tight into 3.
This is what we've seen so many times.
Man,
Reggie,
look at that.
29 got pushed up by the air, I think. He's going to be a little tight. He's going to have to check up. Here comes Reggie Ortega.
Pull him back. Look at Ben Baffert. He's going to shove the 23, or the 23's going to shove the 2 past the 29. Ortega's going to get the lead, but Noel's still fighting back. Does he set it up on the outside?
This is amazing stuff here tonight. Seth Noel not able to hold him off that time.
Oh, man.
Yeah, Reggie slides up in front. Here you go. Crossing back over. Nope.
There he goes.
Oh, contact.
Over the wall.
Oh, big hit.
Noel walls the 2, but how much damage does the 2 have? He's got a lot.
Go back here.
Is it going to hurt him?
Go back a little bit here. He slides up in front of him, and then I think just a bad bump is all it was, right?
Oh, yeah, that definitely was what it looked like, yeah. I think he was trying to give him a bump, and it pushed him hard in the wall. Now I'm curious to see. Ortega's definitely got damage on that right side. Even with the composite body, that's a hard hit. Does he have suspension damage is the question.
Yeah, he is definitely off pace here, especially on the straightaways. But
yeah, as I say, I know one thing though. Ortega knows if there's one thing that's going across Ortega's mind, it's getting back to that 29. I can tell you that.
Yeah, that is so unfortunate that happened. I mean, he was up there racing all.
Ortega's pinning. Oh, they're pinning. That might have been just perfect for Ortega, but I don't know. Depends how it's going to go. Now they come into the pit road. What's going to happen here? The V-Speed guys stay out here 4-car pack. Curious to see, will we see 2 or 4 tires here early in the race? First round of green flag pit stops.
There's Hatchell leading the lap, so that's a bonus point for him. Getting closer and closer to that regular season championship. Every time he leads a lap, you know.
Starling missed the box.
Oh, man.
Starling did miss the box. Let's see, Baffert getting 4 tires. Noel getting 4 tires. Everybody getting 4 tires. A great stop by the 29 crew. He'll get out first, and a great stop by the 88 crew, and Reggie Ortega having some trouble.
Maybe trying to get the damage fixed.
Noel.
Here comes,
Noel, a great stop.
Here come the VSPEED machines onto pit road here.
See, side by side there.
Yeah, they must know where their boxes are, or you'd hope they do. It looks like that. Oh, maybe they didn't know where the boxes were.
Missed it.
Hatchell almost overshot his. That was so close.
Curious to see where they're going to cycle.
Yeah, an extra lap on the tires. They're probably going to lose some time to those race leaders who pitted before them, but we'll have to wait and see. His Mayato working his way off. There goes Hatchell. He'll win the battle off in that a pit stop. Seth Noel there. He got a huge jump over the guys behind him, and he is going to take the lead.
Gone. See, Baffert and Hutton will probably slide into second and third. They should be able to get more packed up. Ortega has definitely lost touch with these guys. He might be able to cling on behind Samard. Sullivan's almost ran him down. But looking at what I'm seeing here, Noel, the 29 crew gave him an absolutely amazing pit stop. He was able to have, I think he got it or gained about 2 or 3 car lengths off of pit road. But now with the entire pack going to try to run him down, can they get up to the 29? I'm curious to see, but now Noel kind of all by himself. This is the biggest lead we've seen anybody have this entire race.
Yeah, and that's 1.1 seconds over Ben Baffert, the pole sitter. Those two, I think, combined have led some of the most laps here tonight. Eric Hutton as well, 10 laps led. He's up here in third and doing a good job staying up in the hunt here as Hatchell. He'll cycle to fourth, so that worked out pretty well for him right where he was and didn't really lose too much time. He'll have a little draft from those cars in front of him, too.
And he's got an extra set of, and he's got an extra, or well, not an extra, but he's got a lap less than the guys ahead of him, who do have 1 less lap fresher tires, which we could see play a big role. We've seen it play a big role, but these guys are definitely starting to reel in that 29 car again.
Yeah, Noel there definitely losing time. The gap all the way down to 0.3 of a second. Maybe he's saving some fuel or tires, but yeah, I don't know. He has lost that advantage. And here comes Jordan Shepler going to be rolling off a pit road, and there goes Noel. He's going to get passed right up.
Yeah, I think he maybe was trying to let them go. I don't think he would have lost that much time unless he had something go wrong. But I think he was just trying to slide in line, maybe try to save some fuel, save some tire. But those guys behind that do have fresher tires, like Keith Mayato, Seth Hatchell, and the VSPEED guys, which I would say Angelo Ronis is another one, but they've kind of fallen off. It's going to be about a 5-man pack by the time this is all said and done. Curious to see if that second pack can run them down, which would be Ronis, Gimmel, Samard, and Ortega.
Yeah, and Ortega, I think, is just going to have a hard time keeping up here at this point. It's so aerodynamic based at this track, and that car pretty crumpled up there on the right front, so I think he's going to have a lot of trouble back in 9th. But Dallas Sullivan up into 10th. Nick Starling got shaken out of that group. He's back in 11th right now. I'm not sure exactly what happened with him. Maybe issues, you said issues getting into the box, right? So lost a lot of time there. Jeremiah Vincent in 12th doing what he needs to do. And Timmy Emanuele, who just pit a couple laps later, rides in 13th. He's got some damage on the right front. But at the front here, it is Ben Baffert, Eric Hutton, Seth Noel, Seth Hatchell, Keith Mayato, the top 5. Amazing racing so far tonight. We're going to go side by side so you don't miss any of it. All right, and back at the racetrack now, Ben Baffert continues to show the way. It is Eric Hutton right here behind him, and then Seth Noel, Seth Hatchell, Keith Mayato. Those positions have not changed, but Hatchell has reeled these guys in. He's brought Mayato and Gemmel, or actually just Mayato with him. Gemmel still a long ways back with his teammate Chris Samard. Then Angel Ronas, Reggie Ortega also in that group. So Reggie's actually hanging pretty tough back here in that 9th spot.
Yes, he is. He's just got a little bit of right front damage, which obviously hurting him a little bit. I'm sure that he's going to probably need a caution to get all of that fixed. Looking here, only 13 cars on the lead lap. Obviously, half the field taken out in a lap 1 incident going into turn 3. Taking heavy hitters out like AJ Stravato, Zach Carr, Dennis Farracloth, and other guys. You know, the entire field, who knows who could have been fast. Just wish we didn't see that wreck, but still nonetheless, we've had some great racing. And speaking of great racing, battle for second, Seth Noel and Eric Hutton.
Yeah, almost an opportunity right there. I see a little smoke here on the front stretch. Maybe someone lost an engine, not too sure, but a little puff of smoke right there. So we'll have to dig into that one. Not exactly where that's from, but Ben Baffert out in front right now, holding these guys off. He started on the pole. He has led 16 laps here as they make their way towards the lap machine of Jordan Shepler. Hutton behind him started 11th, has led 10 laps in second right now. Seth Noel started 4th, runs 3rds. He has led 14 laps. Hatchell behind them, fighting for an opportunity to win the regular season championship up here. He's got a good opportunity and right here in the mix to win this race as well. How about Keith Mayato still looking for his first win of the season, which is such a surprising thing to say. 12 races in, you'd think that 36 would have found victory lane.
Yeah, and he could have. He's had plenty of opportunities. That I think the big one that comes to mind was Kentucky, where he lost it on a scoring loop, pretty much, where he had the lead off of 2, but he just wasn't leading at the scoring loop. Another one that comes to mind, North Wilkesboro, he had a very good chance there, and he got, I believe he got into an incident and crashed on the front stretch. So Keith's had some opportunities, and I guarantee you by the time this is all said and done, Keith is one of those guys that will rise to the occasion. He will always find a way to win, and I don't think that I don't think Keith is going to be going winless this season. I just don't see it.
Yeah, I don't see that happening either. It's just been a lot of bad luck and just, you know, a couple uncharacteristic mistakes as well. The new Carr will do that to you, though. We've seen a lot of drivers have problems. I mean, even Zach Carr in this race, right? He's the points leader, and he got loose down there in turn 3 on lap 1 and got collected. And you know, partially his fault, honestly. I don't know if you can blame anybody, but him for getting loose down there. Just a lot of drivers struggling to get the grips on these new next-gen machines. But look at this battle for the race lead. Eric Hutton, who's been fast all season long, right up there in the mix once again.
He is hooked up on that 23 going into turn 1. As you can see, look at how much they're able to just tandem away almost from the 29 of Seth Noel. Behind them, Jordan Shepler, Kevin McGarvey, who are, I believe, on a little bit fresher, or Kyle McGarvey, excuse me, who are just on a little bit fresher tires than these guys, but they do, you can see, they do have some damage and are a few laps down, but they could be playing a big role into this. But as you can see now, Baffert.
Oh, Shepler.
Good save by Jordan there. That could have been a caution. Good save. As you can see, the leader's going to go by Gilmore up on the front stretch, but great save by Jordan Shepler. Going to come in and probably get some more of that damage fixed. Looks like that car's not handling how he wants it to. It's about 3 laps down now, so the closest guy to him is 4 laps down, or 4 laps down to him. So probably just get the rest of that damage fixed. But now looking here, Eric Hutton and Seth Noel.
Yeah, tightly nose to tail there. Noel's going to back off, headed into turn 3, though. Maybe get a little better exit from the corner. And Hutton with a really good run through the center, but not going to be able to capitalize here on exit as much. As Baffert, who has a race win this season, not going to be able to make it into the chase. Wins do not lock you in, and he missed a bunch of races at the start of the season. Actually joined the league late, but man, the what if he had been able to join at the start of the season and didn't miss the one race, he could be right up there. He's got the 4th best average finish of any driver in the league, and the only driver to win other than those big 3. And right now, showing that speed once again tonight.
It's been really fast this year. He's gotten some incidents that might not have been his own doing or were his own doing, but kind of similar to Keith Maato. But Maato's obviously been here all year and has had consistent finishes up at the top 5, top 10. Bafford's had the same, but just hasn't been able to race this entire season. So I could see next year Bafford definitely being a championship contender. Another big development, Jordan Shepard has pulled it behind the wall, and Alan Dice as well. Zach Carr will move up another spot, which could definitely help his chances at a regular season title.
And that would be 2 seasons in a row for Zach Carr. Yeah, he got the regular season championship last season as well, but went on to finish second behind Seth Hatchell in the championship finale after really a dominating season for him. And he's right back on that horse again this season. 4 wins already here in the first 11 races, tied with AJ Stravato. They've both been extremely consistent and very good. Just a couple problems here late in the regular season for AJ Stravato have knocked him out of that championship lead. But been a very exciting season so far through the first 11, now 12 races.
Yeah, the races have been really good. Obviously, different. Only 4 different winners, but still, nonetheless, still been amazing shows this entire year. We've had a lot of great races, photo finishes in 3 of them already, and let me tell you, just the racing's been great. And I recommend if you're watching this late, watch them live. Let me tell you, they are absolutely amazing to watch, and watching these boys do battle week in and week out, watching these guys just give it their all. It's just awesome to watch, and I love watching these guys. Watching these guys just battle all day, all night. I mean, we've been seeing it here in that first stint. These guys were going at it for the race lead. So obviously, still a long way to go. Just got about I would say about a third done of this race. So, you know, still more than halfway to go. We're closing up on halfway. So and we're closing up on another round of green flag pit stops for the next 20 or so laps.
Got an interesting development here, Alec. Keith Maato. I was on board with him down through turns 1 and 2. We're still on board with him right now. He shut the engine off, or at least like hit the clutch there. Not doing it this lap though, so I don't know if they're saving fuel. I don't know what the strategy call would be there. Maybe it's engine temp. They are hitting the red line, or getting right up there over 9,000 RPM at these high speeds in turn 1. So I wonder if that's to preserve the engine somewhat. I haven't seen any issues with temperature yet, but
I could see that, but to me, I would think it's more of a safe fuel kind of thing. Obviously, being at the tail end of this pack, you can see on the straightaway he'll be able to gain up to his teammate Seth Hatchell. But in the corner, as is all he's able to gain, he could be, you know, quarter throttling it, 3/4 throttling it down the straightaways, and then just clutching into the corner, shutting the car off. That was the thing that I remember being able to do in the Gen 6 car, where you were able to kind of clutch and coast into the corners. This car being a little bit different. I don't know if it gives you the same, if you can have the same result when clutching and coasting, but nonetheless, it's still possible that one of those could lead into this car as well. So could be seeing him save fuel and maybe trying to go that extra lap or lap or 2. But from what I'm seeing, I think we'll have about another 3 more green flag pit stops to go. For sure 2, but 3 is definitely not out of the question. So I'm curious to see how that's going to play a role. Then another big development would be Ben Bafford, who has been leading this entire run, or about this entire run, is burning the most fuel out of these guys. So he could be coming in a little bit sooner than he probably wants to. Here's to see if maybe he'll give the lead to Eric Hutton, try to save some fuel behind him. But still a long way to go. As you can see, a battle for second behind him. Noel! It's going to bounce off the 88. Little no harm, no foul. Little rubbing race in there here at Michigan again, getting the elbows out. Behind them now, Seth Hatchell, who has about a lap fresher tires. Here's to see he'll have a big run as Noel trying to side draft, not going to be able to clear him. Hutton's going to take over the second, or take back the second position. But yeah, we've seen these guys get their elbows out and kind of lean on each other. Something that would have been really expecting to see, especially here at Michigan.
yeah, and it was interesting. Right before that happened, it looked like they were pretty content.
They were.
I think most of these guys are actually really content with running here in this single file line, kind of just running a nice, clean, solid pace. And the only driver that looked like he wasn't so content, that was Seth Noel, as he was the only one making moves or taking peeks to the inside of Eric Hutton. So you know, he may want to get back out there, lead some more laps It feels that he could maybe break away from these guys or something like that. But yeah, I think it's probably the smart move to race clean right now, knock these laps out, and just keep yourself in contention. So, Timmy Emanuele in the wall.
Hits the wall. Hatchell has to evade, and missed him as Mayato kind of starting to lose a little touch with these guys, but he should be able to gain some of that back, obviously, with Hatchell probably getting held up. But these guys right now have been the 5 that have kind of just, they played it right, they played their strategy right, they're doing what they need to do. If these 5 guys can kind of stay here to the end, obviously we still got almost another 150 miles to go and almost about halfway. As you can see, Noel down to the inside, challenging Baffert now for the lead. But yeah, there's still a long way to go. Curious to see if these are going to be the 5 that we're going to see battling for the win. Remember, cautions can happen. As you can see, Noel get loose off the corner.
Yeah, he is pushing hard right now, trying to make something happen. He did shove Hutton right up to the back bumper, and he's going to try again. Nope. The door gets shut right in his face. That may allow Hatchell to get an opportunity.
You can see when Hutton closed the door, just shut the door on the 29. You can see the 29's nose move up the racetrack a little bit, just plowing time. But look at the run that Eric Hutton's going to have to do. Is Hatchell's he's going to lift for Baffert. Now Hatchell gets, or not Hatchell, excuse me, Seth Noel's going to get into the back bumper, going into one of Eric Hutton. Now I'm just curious to see, these guys looking like they're getting more aggressive. Are pit stops coming up? Are these guys trying to set themselves up for pit stops?
Been 26 laps is now a challenge for second. Here goes Noel down to the inside, Hutton up on the top side. So a couple of the newcomers leading the way. I mean, Baffert obviously with a race win already this season, but newer to the league. And then Seth Noel, his second start so far this season, and he is up here mixing it up with these guys. Hutton falls to third now, and Hatchell right there behind him. He lifts really early on entry to that corner. I wonder if both he and Mayato maybe in fuel conservation mode, like you talked about, trying to extend this run as far as possible. Maybe cut out an extra pit stop.
You can see there, look at that. Hatchell, a big run. He's going to go down to the inside of the 88 of Eric Hutton. Hutton's going to run him tight, get on that outside of the right rear of the quarter panel, pull him back almost. As you can see, Hatchell just gets loose into the corner, and Hutton's going to be able to power back off the corner and retake third place behind or in front of them. Noel kind of timing out that run, kind of seeing what he can do to see if he can pass or break the bubble that the 23 is creating in front of him.
Really great racing out here tonight from Michigan International Speedway. This is the BTDY Marathon 300. If you're just joining us here tonight, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe if you've enjoyed what you've seen so far. This is the final race of the regular season, so drivers fighting to make it into the top 12 in points. A lot of drivers with problems early on in this one, and already eliminated from contention due to that. So we'll just have to see how the second half of this race goes here, but it's been very entertaining for the first 150 laps or so, or 150 miles or so.
150 laps, man.
Yeah, that'd be the race over.
Yeah. No, this is, like you said, it's been a really entertaining race. Just about halfway through, and going to be 75 laps down, another 75 to go. Just not 28 cars on the racetrack. But yeah, the top 5 we've seen all in the pack. They've been putting on a great show. As you can see, another challenge. Eric Hutton looking up to the outside on the 29 of Seth Noel, not able to complete the pass, as he's going to have to tuck in, slot in line. But behind him, Seth Hatchell. He's going to push that 88 now. Noel, Hatchell looks down to the bottom. Noel looks down to the inside of Ben Baffert. Can't get to the quarter panel. And he's going to have to slot in the line going into 1.
Yep, and behind these guys, there is a 3-car pack. They're about 3 seconds behind the leader. That is Ryan Gemmel, Chris Simard, Angelo Ronis. Those 3 around each other. They've also got Timmy Emanuele, the damaged lap car. It's crazy. Timmy is in 13th, and he is first car 1 lap down. We have 12 cars on the lead lap here. Everybody else has some form of damage or is involved in those first 2 incidents, and that is really limiting the racing action out here tonight. The top 5, though, they are not afraid to get dirty here tonight.
Hatchell down to the inside of Eric Hutton. Can he complete the pass is the question. Sends it into the corner. Hutton's going to get down on that right side. Can he pull him back? Hatchell gets tight underneath. You can see him have the lift off the gas. Hutton's going to pull back up to the outside, retake third place. right in front of him, Noel still trying to find a way to break the bubble of the 23. Just can't do it. He needs somebody on his bumper.
Yeah, it's so interesting how that works. We've seen Noel make some bold moves, and he's been able to make some incredible passes, but Ben Baffert just in control right now as nobody else organized enough behind him. But maybe this is an opportunity for Noel on the front straightaway here. He's going to have to time it right. He does get a huge run down towards turn 1. He might just shove Ben down into the corner.
And he does. And pushes Baffert about a car length ahead, but, you know, these guys have been pretty content, like we said, being able to stay single file. But now I'm curious if Hatchell almost gets up into the outside wall from the arrow push off the corner. Now his teammate's going to tuck up behind him, try to push him back up to the 88. Almost a disaster there for Seth Hatchell.
My auto is actually shutting the car off once again. Just did it that time into turn number 3. But definitely interesting. I'm not sure what the strategy call is as we are about to cross the line for the halfway mark in this race. Oh, it's Seth Noel, some blocks there.
See, he was able to get that push from the 88 to Hutton, just not enough to challenge that 23 who has the clean air. But now look at that. Noel looks down to the inside, but Baffert's going to just take his line away enough where Hatchell can't get up to the inside. He just can't do it.
And Noel's not been afraid to shove guys down the backstretch here. Got into Reggie Ortega already and put him in the wall. And I know Baffert's probably thinking about that, trying to line his car up with the 29 as well. Doesn't want to get turned leading this race as the top 5 still single file, nose to tail, under 6/10 separating these drivers. And then that group farther back losing more time. So they're going to have to figure something out if they want to get back in this race.
They are, as you can see, look at that. Noel looking up to the outside, maybe trying to diamond the corner, try to get a big run off. You can see him starting to build that run down the straightaway. He's got the draft. Can he throw it underneath the 23? Look at the run he's got down this backstretch. Closes up to the 23, but that air bubble's going to stall him out right there. Tries to break it, looks down to the inside. Not going to be enough, but now up to his outside is Eric Hutton.
And a little arrow push right there for both of those guys. I could see that. We were in the blimp cam, and the 29 got in the wake of Ben Baffert, and he had to lift. And then right behind him, Hutton got in his wake. But they're strung together now, nose to tail. No moves able to be made that time.
And it looks like Baffert's starting to struggle a little bit. Looks like he's just not able to get to the gas. Obviously, being in clean air, you can kind of get to the gas before others, but does that burn up your tires? And it looks like Baffert might have burned up his tires, because now Noel's been challenging him now as he goes down to the inside. Baffert's going to just pin him down to the inside. It's going to get him tight. Not going to be enough. Is Noel still able to fight on that corner? Now Hutton looks down to the inside. Baffert's going to give him draft. Hutton a big run down to the inside. He's going to be able to clear the 29 to second.
Business is picking up here at the front of the field. Here comes Noel.
Hatchell getting a run behind them, but now Noel throws it in across. He's going to get underneath the 23. Baffert has to check up. What a move by Seth Noel down to the inside. Side by side down the backstretch. And behind them, Seth Hatchell and Eric Hutton closing in.
Man, I don't know how he did that. He just threw it in there and it's stuck. And he's going to remember that. Here he goes.
Again. Able to do it, but Baffert's able to get underneath them. Almost a little bit of contact. Yes, there was. He moves him up the track, side by side for the lead again. Down the front stretch. Who's going to lead the lap? Baffert's going to get it now. What does the 88 do? The 88 closes down back behind the 23. Baffert sends it in down to the inside. Gets loose on the bottom.
And that's going to pull him up the racetrack here. Noel trying to squeeze through the gap.
Oh! Hard racing here. Look at these guys. Side by side. They're pitting now.
They're bringing it in this time?
Yeah, that's what it looks like Baffert's doing. Baffert just called on the radio, said, we're pitting. Now, what is Hatchell? What is Mayata? What does Seth Noel do? Looks like Noel... Let's see, Noel, Hatchell, and Mayata going to pit behind them. Eric Hutton, Ben Baffert going to come in. Look at the time that Ryan Gimmel made up on that 88.
Yeah, he closed in quite a bit on pit entry right there. I mean, still a long ways behind them, but you can see just really pushing that entry, and he brings Chris Simard and Angelo Ronas with him. This is an opportunity for Hatchell to actually gain some time if he can close up on Seth Noel.
Baffert misses his box.
Oh no! Did he? I'm not.
He slid
seeing
through.
it here. Oh boy, that's gonna be very costly going from leading this race potentially being out of
Out of his
contention here.
box. Look at that. Look at all the time he lost. But it looks like Noel's going to come in all by himself.
That'll leave Hatchell and Mayato out there on the racetrack, continuing to circulate around here. And right now, there are only 3 cars on the lead lap as Hatchell puts a lap on Eric Hutton. So if a caution was to come out somehow, which I don't see it happening with how spaced out everybody is, but maybe someone could spin off pit road or something like that, this would really shake things up.
You know, I'm looking at what I'm seeing right now. Baffert and Hutton are back together, but Ryan Gemmell has caught up to those guys. He's within drafting distance. So is Chris Simard and Angelo Ronis. So we might have 5 guys here, and they've run up on the back of the 8 and the 36, which are staying out once again. Noel just leaving pit road. Curious to see, he's going to fall in behind Hatchell and Mayato, or actually he might be able to get in front of them. Depends. He's just not going to have the momentum built up. But Noel's going to have a decent lead here over Hutton and Baffert. Now I'm curious to see, when do the 8 and the 36 come in? But man, look at how much of a gap Seth Noel has.
Yeah, it's about 1.6 seconds as Hutton slips up the racetrack with Baffert right there behind him. But the benefit that they have, they're nose to tail. And I can't believe these VSPEED machines are still out there. They may be trying to do this on one more stop after this.
I could see that.
Oh, man, it's going to be close. They've gone 40 laps on this run. They've been saving a little bit of fuel, running in the wake of those other cars. And now here comes Eric Hutton and Ben Baffert trying to unlap themselves
Yeah, the
in
8
line.
and 36 are pitting. But they're about 1 second behind Seth Noel. They should be able to catch with draft. But behind them, Ryan Gemmell about 2 seconds back. Oh, my! Oh, this is going to be really dicey here. Oh, Baffert almost gets to the satchel, and he did. I think Lyle Sofridge being there kind of messed that up for them. Curious to see how Hatchell and Mayato are going to be able to make it into the pits.
Yeah, they made it on okay, but definitely was a little dicey there. Let's go back and take a look at that. Hatchell, I don't know if he lost the back end just a little bit, but the 70, yeah, just kind of in the middle of the track on entry. I think he tried to overcompensate and go up the hill a little. But Hutton was closing in, and then Baffert, yeah, just, did get into him. But they're okay. They live to race on.
It costed them time. It costed Baffert and Hutton time. But the thing was, that actually helped the 6 and the 37 of Ryan Gemmell and Chris Simard, who were actually about 2.5 seconds behind them. Now they're only 1.5 seconds behind, which they have caught. They're in drafting distance. But looking at Hatchell and Mayato have just left pit road. Those VSPEED machines are going to be all grouped together, a group of 4, and let's be curious to see if they can run down the 23, the 88, and the 29.
So close to getting over the line there for Keith Mayato. That was really close for him, as Hatchell's actually going to lose out to Simard and Gemmell, but 4-lap fresher tires than those guys, so that could play a role as Jeremiah loose.
He's good. He's able to save it, but now I'm curious to see, how are these guys? Are these guys going to be able to? Are they going to be able to run him down? Noel, he's got about a half-second lead, but now Gemmell, Simard, Hatchell, and Mayato are going to all be in a pack. This might become about a 7 or 8-man race. This Angelo Ronis has kind of lost touch with the 37 and the 8, but he's just hanging on behind the 80 and the 9.
Yeah, Angelo in the 8th position. We'll see how things shake out for him. He pit just on the same time as Ryan Gemmell, Chris Simard, but this could be a race-winning strategy for Mayato and Hatchell, even though they've lost a little bit of track position right now.
Lead. Hutton underneath the 29 and the 23 trying to follow suit. They have caught back up to Seth Noel, and they're both going to go by him. But now, like I said, the question becomes, will Mayato, Gemmell, Simard, and Hatchell be able to run them down? Mayato leading the charge with 4-lap fresher tires and still one more pit stop to go.
At least one more, maybe 2 for some of these guys. I mean, they went 40 or so I think it is probably going to be a one-stopper for everybody out here. But these top 3 all synced up now. That is Hutton, who's taking the lead, Baffert 2nd, Seth Noel 3rd, Mayato in 4th. He's got a little bit of an advantage over those 3 behind him, and the gap not really shrinking. They're not in drafting range right now, so they're going to have to get to working together here, or they could start to lose some time.
And Hatch are being very good teammates, but If they want to get a little selfish, they got to get by these guys. Mayato's able to gain down the down in the corners. Able to gain about 2 or 3 tenths in the corners, but on the straightaway with nobody ahead of him, he actually loses about a tenth. So he's going 3 steps forward, 1 step back, pretty much.
Yeah, so let's see how things look at the line this time. I mean, he gained quite a bit this lap, but yeah, losing some on the straightaways. He ran a 39.3 to the leader's 39.5, so 2 tenths faster. That will add up here. If they can continue to close in, he'll get into draft range, and that'll bring everybody with him. And then instead of a 5-car lead group, we are going to have a 7-car lead group.
I'm curious to see, though, if these top 3 are going to try to stay together. If they start racing each other, that is going to be the prime opportunity for Mayato, and the VSPEED guys, I should just say, the VSPEED 4, to run them down. But they need to start racing. If they don't race, it's going to take about another extra 8 or 9 laps for these guys to run them down. Hatchel going underneath, I believe that's the 37 of Samard. I think the top 3 are kind of understanding what they need to do. They're starting to work together, but now Gemmel, Samard, Mayato, and Hatchel are starting to run these guys down little by little and inch by inch.
And this is definitely going to be a confidence booster for both Samard and Gemmel, who were, feeling like they could have been out of this race. That there was no way that they were going to catch back up, but now they've cycled back in, and it's been a positive gain. They've gained positions, they've gained time, and there's a real opportunity to be up there in the mix and win this race tonight. They still got a lot of work to do, though, as these top 3s shaking and baking up here.
It's a great terminology there.
They're shuffling all over the place. I don't know if you can see that. The 23 and the 88, they were pushing hard, and Seth Noel trying to figure some way around those 2 teammates. So yeah, this is the 29's kind of all on his own. He's got a team of 4 behind him and a team of 2 in front of him that are going to be working together.
Mayato is really, really starting to gain in the corners. Those 4-lap pressure tires really starting to help. And let me tell you, Ryan Gemmel and Chris Samard are loving it, because now Mayato's in draft range. He is up in the draft of the 29 car, Seth Noel. Now, but down the straightaway, he's kind of just pushing or pulling Gemmel, Hatchel, and Samard along here. But let me tell you, in the next lap or 2, Mayato should be able to get there. The question is, does he ride or does he try to go to the point?
Yeah, that lap again, 2 tenths faster, and he is flying right now. I mean, he just gained another 10th right there. So he's going to be knocking on the door, like you said, in a few moments. And he has started to pull away from Gemmel quite a bit. It's actually a bigger gap back to them than it is to the cars in front. So that is just how quick he is and how much those tires are affecting his drive forward versus the 6 behind him.
Hatchel's going to need to try to make some headway. He's trying to, obviously he's trying to be a good teammate here, which hats off to him. But he's going to need to try to get around it, because if Mayato is able to get to the front, he'll actually start pulling the 88, the 23, and the 29 actually away from the 6 and the 37. Right now, Gemmel's only 0.6 of a second behind Mayato, but Mayato is now tucked up behind Seth Noel.
Hatchel took a look down to the inside. I know you weren't part of the league at the last time that Gemmel won a race, but it was Hatchel pushing Gemmel across the line right here at this racetrack to win, and Hatchel finished second in that one. It was a heck of a finish and a really good teammate battle right there, as right now they're fighting side by side across the line, and Hatchel trying to get up there and try and get the toe from the 36 in front.
I mean, they did a great job bringing their teammates to the pack. Now they're spread out enough to where I don't see any of them losing it unless Samard or Gemmel really, really fall off from the top 5 or 4, or well, top 5, I guess. They just need to stay where they are and try to get themselves set up for the next set of green flag pit stops, which should be coming in about 30 or so laps, or 25 or so laps. And if they can set themselves up there, they should be ready to go. I'm curious to see. We might have 1 or 2 more pit stops. I'm not really sure.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see.
Do we see somebody try to play a wild tire strategy, like maybe Angelo Ronis, Dallas Sullivan, those guys? Maybe try to take 2 tires, cut that pit stop in half on that last one if they have to make a 3rd one.
Not too sure if that would work out for him. I know the lap times don't fall off a ton, but it's still enough that those left sides are probably taking some wear. Dallas Sullivan has run an incredible race. He's up in 9th. Nick Starling, who started out really hot here, he was up there battling for the race lead, right now finds himself 10th, about 18 seconds back. Reggie Ortega, last car on the lead lap in 11th, about 31.5 with that right front damage. It's got to be a lonely feeling out there for him.
Oh yeah, for sure. He's obviously got a lot of damage, and I don't know where he is out on the racetrack. He's actually just off of turn 2, drafting with his other LDR teammate, which would be Zach Carr. So, curious to see now, how is this going to shake out? Does Ortega try to maybe mess with the 29 a little bit? I'm not really sure. I don't think Reggie thought it was intentional. I don't think it was intentional by the 29 of Seth. I think he just tried to give him a bump to help, and he looked like he just jacked up the rear end and put him up in the outside wall. No, I don't think it was any intent there, but you never know. Race car drivers don't forget. They don't forget, man.
Yeah, and Reggie probably has had a lot of time to think about what happened right there, and battling for what would have been his first career win, and it's completely ripped out of his hands at this point. And Hutton leading the way, Baffert in second, Noel there in third. They have not been able to break away from Mayato, and Mayato's kept these guys right there in tow. So the top 7 all within 1.1 seconds. And continuing to click laps off here, almost 2/3 of the way home. Still so far left in this thing. It's such a long race tonight. And we do appreciate if you're sticking here with us. Not going to want to miss the last little bit of this. It's where it all comes down to, for the regular season championship. Seth Hatchell does have an opportunity to win it if Zach Carr somehow loses a couple spots here in the later laps. And if Hatchell can win the race, he could potentially win the championship for the regular season at least. It's a bit of a stretch. You'd have to get every single point possible. And Zach Carr just hanging on by a thread at the moment.
He is. It's going to be curious. Now, if Hatchell wins, there's bonus points. So that could help out. To be honest with you, if Hatchell is to win, it takes some sorting out to do for who would win the regular season championship and who's going to come up just shy, because it's going to be close. But we know that no matter what circumstances you put Seth Hatchell through, whether it's a playoff elimination format or just a 10-man chase, 12-man chase, he's won the last 2 championships. He knows how to win a championship. Can he go 3 in a row? That'd be some Jimmy Johnson kind of stuff right there, let me tell you.
No, that's his role model, and
oh well, yeah, perfect.
He's had another great season so far up there. I think he has the best average finish of anybody in the field. I think he's averaging a top 5. He's had, I think, 1 bad race so far in all of his starts. He's actually missed a race compared to the top 2 in the points as well. And he is right there mixing it up for the regular season championship. That's how good he's been here through the first 11 weeks. And right up here in the top 5 at the 2/3 mark in this one. Eric Hutton, though, in control at the moment. 23 laps led in the first 99. And what he needs to do, looking for another win. It's been a little while. I don't think he found victory lane last season.
Oh, I don't think he did either, but I know he's been pretty good. He's won some races in this league, especially in the Xfinity Series. I remember him winning at New Hampshire last year, and I think he won somewhere else as well. He won.
He's won a lot of. He's, I think, tied. He's tied with me.
Oh, hey,
I think right behind you on the all-time wins list there for. I think we're like 4th or 5th or so.
Oh,
he's got plenty of wins in this league, and it's just been a little while. He's had a few mistakes, that have taken him out this season, and so far run a flawless race tonight.
He has indeed. He's been doing really good tonight. I'm glad to see that this has become a 7-horse fight for the win. So, what do we got? 50 to go. Probably 1 more pit stop, which I could see coming up in the next 15 or so laps. So I'm curious to see what's going to happen here, who's going to do what. And let me tell you, if you're sticking with us, we appreciate you. And if you know somebody that's doing nothing, tell them what they're missing, because it's about to get a little wild, a little bit crazy here with these last 50 laps here at Michigan.
So interesting how this has developed. It was a wreck fest there, those first 6 laps, and now it's the single file train type of race here at Michigan. You've gotten a little bit of everything. It's almost a super speedway race, but we've lost so much of the field, or we lost it so early that it's just really, this is how I would have expected it to go, maybe as a whole, but it just got so broken up there with those 2 cautions at the beginning.
Really did.
Just to recap, we've had 15 lead changes, so it has been competitive at the front, especially for a while there in the first 75 laps. Only 2 cautions. Those came very early on, and we've run green ever since then.
I had a feeling once we got half the field gone,
Yeah.
yeah, that no really happens. That tends to happen. You know, everybody tries to play it safe, and little do you know, it gets spread out, and then you're kind of doing this. And you know, looking at what I'm seeing right now, 15 lead changes at Michigan. That's pretty good, though. We've had some amazing racing, nonetheless, even with the little amount of cars that we've had here. So these next gen cars provide some amazing racing. We've seen some beating and banging out here. We've been seeing it all. So I tell you, this car is going to be great for the future of the sport, and it's diverse. Heck, we've ran it on a short track, we've ran it on a road course, we've ran it on a really, really tiny track, we've ran it inside a football stadium, then we ran it at Daytona, and now we're going to be on a dirt track this weekend. So this car is very diverse, and I think it's great for the sport, and just look forward to the future of NASCAR. This season has been great already. Martinsville was a little bump in the road, but I'm sure they'll get it all figured out at NASCAR, and this season has been awesome already.
Yeah, I think it was more a gearing issue at Martinsville that really.
I don't think people are realizing that. I'm like, shifting kind of hurt it, but nonetheless, those Hendrick cars were hard to beat. Byron and Elliott had just amazing cars. But speaking of amazing cars and amazing strategy, Keith Mayado's starting to put the pressure on the 29. He's going to go underneath him.
Yeah, the fresher tires. Trying to take advantage of those while he can here before they get to the pit cycle again. He's going to get to the inside, not going to be able to pull it off, though. That top line's so good at defending the runs from the inside. But, you know, a little bit up the road, we already talked about it just a few moments ago. Reggie Ortega and Zach Carr, they're running solid lap times right now, but definitely off the pace of the race leaders by a few tenths a lap. And that gap back to the race leaders, just a few seconds. And you can see him right there out the back view behind Zach Carr. When they get into the corner here, you'll see those race leaders nice and clear. There they are. That is where Seth, Noel is. And I don't know if we're going to get some retaliation here. Hopefully Reggie can kind of restrain himself. But, man, that would change some things up.
I don't think we'd do that. I don't think Reggie would do that, but you never know. We never know what's going to happen. We can't control these guys. We don't know what these guys are going to do. But what that tells me, with seeing Mayado trying to start making passes, excuse me, and seeing the urgency, kind of leads me to believe that we're getting a little bit closer and closer to pit stops.
Yeah, we've been out here 26 laps for Hutton and those
Really
drivers
close.
that pit early. So, yeah, within 10 laps, I think, for some of these guys. We'll have to wait and see when they elect to bring it down. So the oldest tires so far out here are going to be Dow, Sullivan, Nick Starling. They've been out here 27 laps. And then Hutton, Bafford, 26 laps. Gemmel, Samard as well, actually. So that just clicks over to 27 now. So probably 8 laps, 9 laps, maybe the most, to kind of split this run in half.
Yeah, so here's the well, what I'm looking at, if I'm looking at the trends, going a little Larry Mack on you, these guys get about 36 to 37 laps on fuel. As you can see, these guys starting to shake it up at the front. But 36 to 37 laps on fuel, so about 10 laps for these guys. And we should be seeing pit stops, which should be able to carry them to the end. But at the front, look at Reggie Ortega. He's going to fight for his lap. As you can see, Keith Mayado Noel throwing a block on him, and Mayado hits the back end of him, but no harm, no foul, low composite bodies action. But look at these guys. Ortega, the teammates are fighting for their lap.
Oh, boy. Hutton got really loose right there, too.
Really going to shake things up. Bafford's going to... Wow, he gave Hutton a shot, and now look down to the inside. Noel looks down to the inside, going to have to run that yellow line. Is it going to stick? No. But look at Hutton getting tight. Noel down to the inside. Oh, there's contact. Ortega up into the wall.
Oh, my goodness. And Ortega, right there, it was the 29 again, kind of down there underneath him, but he was not the one to make contact with him this time. That was his teammate, Eric Hutton. Go back and take a look at that. It got really sketchy here. And, yeah, Eric just too tight in the middle of the corner. He ends up losing the lead. Noel goes to the top spot.
Yeah, I mean, when you race the leaders, the leaders know that you're a lap down, and sometimes they'll just move you out of the way if it comes down to it. But now, Seth Noel up to the lead. He's starting to build a little bit of a gap, pulled about 2 or 3 car lengths up on the 88 and the 23, and behind them, these guys starting to close in. Samard and Ortega look like they got into it, and now behind them, or in front of them, looks like Gimmel and Hatchell starting to tandem, but now Hutton looks down to the inside of Noel.
Yeah, it looked like Seth had to check up just a little bit on the exit of turn number 4, and that was what allowed Hutton and Baffert to get tandem draft and pull him right back in. And here comes Mayato as well, who's looking like a strong contender for the race win tonight. He has come from 21st, didn't even take a lap time in qualifying. Wow. So he has been a big mover. He made it through that first wreck back there, and you know, he saw his opportunity, you know, second chance, so as you'd say.
The Red Hutton's gonna get down this front stretch.
That is Robert Gilmore. They're making their way around.
That definitely hurt it.
Zach Carr just coming off of pit road right there.
Yeah, about the time for pit stops. We're just shy away. How many laps to go do we got? Got about
39.
39, just enough to make it. If these guys can go 3 or 4 more laps, should be enough to get them to the end and have them race for a win. It should be about 7 cars racing for the win here, unless a caution comes out, or even maybe a where we could see somebody miss their box, speed on pit road, which this is not the stage you want to do it in. You want to have nice, good, clean stops here. So you can see Hutton closing up to that back bumper of Noel, just not enough. Ooh, Baffert lost the nose there, as you can see. Now, curious to see what Mayato's going to do. Mayato just going to stay with them, but now Hutton's going to lose that pushing, or that pusher that he's going to need to try to get by that 20 line, unless he can throw it into the corner.
And we're getting some questions in chat here. Only the top 10 are on the lead lap. That was Reggie Ortega getting lapped a few moments ago. He was 11th, and that's by the nature of having a big caution at the start of the race that took out pretty much half the field on lap 1. So straight out of the gate, we lost like 5 cars behind the wall, and then a lot of guys with a lot of damage that have put them behind, you know, on speed tonight, and many more have taken it behind the wall. I think only 19 are left racing here right now. Everybody else has called it a night.
Yes, they have.
Yeah, Josiah Vincent's been on pit road for 80 minutes, so I think he's also done.
Done it, yeah.
But the battle for the race lead still hot and heavy up here. Noel out in front. Went to so Hutton and Baffert. They've got the oldest tires. They've used the most fuel. Oh,
Baffert throwing a block, but now Mayato's got his teammate to push. Will they be able to clear the 23 going into the corner? Not yet, but Mayato might be able to do it if he could throw it in. No, Baffert sends it up on the outside. Just not going to be enough. Mayato trying to get down to get the power down. Looking on that inside. It's going to get tight. Almost into the 23 off the corner. He gets loose.
Let's not forget, though, last week or a couple weeks ago, Baffert got into Mayato, I believe, at Martinsville, right? Where...
yeah, Baffert got into Mayato 2 weeks in a row. I just realized that.
Yeah, so there might be some battle. Oh, and maybe Baffert in the wall, or at least a brush, possibly.
Yeah.
I saw sparks. I saw the fender flex and then back into position. Here we go. Trying to go down on the inside again. Mayato sends it down in this time. Baffert not as deep in the corner, but you can see Keith already trying to fight that thing off the corner. And here he goes, still alongside. He's going to have help from the teammate as Noel breaking the draft up front. But Mayato just not going to have the run yet. He'll try again in turn 3.
He's going to dive. He's going to get loose on the inside of the corner. Almost intimidating Baffert, in which he did. And he was able to drive past Baffert and now get right next to the 88 of Eric Hutton. Those new tires, those newer, fresher 4-lap tires starting to pay off in this part of the run. Noel, now he's just got to play with the drafter. He's got about a 4-car length lead over the 88 and the 36 side by side, battling for the second position. This is exactly what Seth Noel wants to see out in that mirror.
How about Mayato, though? Big run there in the center of the corner. Just doesn't have the exit momentum because he's pinched down there on the inside, but he's at least gotten by Ben Baffert for the moment and still alongside pulling the 88 back. And you got to know that if they're on the inside like this, those guys up there, they're going to have to pit in the next couple laps. They're basically pinned up on the top side.
They are, and another thing that's going to play into factor here, we have lap cars. Seth Noel, look at how far ahead of these guys he is. Noel can actually pull a gap if he can use his lap cars to advantage here. With these guys being side by side, Noel could pull a gap here.
Auto just so much better in the center of the corner. Those fresher tires working for him.
He's getting
Little loose though.
That's going to stall him out. Now Hutton and Baffer are going to clear. Mayato's going to have to get in line here. He's going to have to work with these guys now and try to push back up to Seth Noel, and then they can start to battle again. But they need to get up to that 29. That 29's up at about, look in here, he's got about a half-second lead.
Yeah, and continuing to pull away this time, but here you go, tracking him back down on the straightaway, cutting it back down, another half-tenth just gone right there. But Mayato's going to try again. He's not concerned about working with these guys right now. He's trying to get the track position, and he is right there alongside Ben Bafford.
Hutton is pitting, and Bafford's pitting, but Mayato kind of pinning Bafford to where he's at. And he'll try, I think he's going to let him go. Now Samard, Hatchell's pitting. Noel is pitting. The entire top 7 looks like they'll be coming in for some green flag pit stops in the final pit stops of the night with 30 to go.
Let's see how they get on the pit road. Diving in here, Hutton trying to make up time. Looks like he does make up quite a bit.
Boy.
Close call for the VSPEED machines farther back, but all of them pitting.
Now it's up to the pit stops here. What crew is going to get their driver out first? The 29 crew. The first one in the box is the 36. Nobody trying to miss their stop. Everybody gets into their box just how they need to. Bafford gets in. They jack up the right rear. Mayato, left side jacks down. He's off and away. Hutton jacks down. He's off and away. And behind them, Samard, Gimmel, they get off the jack. Now, Noel off the jack. Noel gets off first. Hutton, Mayato, Bafford, then Hatchell, Gimmel, and Samard. The top 7 all getting out. And look at this. Angelo Ronis, who's about 6 seconds behind. Can he catch up to these guys? It doesn't look like he will.
Yeah, I think he's just too far back. He has not had a lot of drafting help throughout the night, and he's going to be about 4 seconds or so, I think, behind the race leader, or behind Chris Samard, who is in 7th. So that's the difference right there. Angelo doing a good job, though. Nice solid night for him. Started 9th. He's running 8th. And they're a bit broken up here in the top 7 now.
They are. Now it's pushed to the end. They have enough fuel to get there. Who's going to conserve their tires? Or I don't think there's going to be much conserving here. Noel got about a 7/10 of a second lead over Eric Hutton. And then Keith Mayato, Ben Bafford, Seth Hatchell. It's going to take him a few laps to get regrouped.
Yeah, and Mayato and Hutton working together right now. They're tracking him down. There goes another 10th down the backstretch. So they can get there. They just got to be a little bit courteous at the moment, just to be there at the end, right? They all want to be in the fight, and so you got to work with somebody else for the moment, even if you don't want to, as it looks like, is that Carr pulling it back onto pit road? It is. He's going to stop again. Heavy damage on that car, so maybe just trying to pit farm the last little bit of it here. 17th position, not in danger of losing a spot to Dennis Faircloth just yet, but he's got to be concerned about that. Doesn't want to lose those extra few laps.
This is true, and every spot could mean the difference here. But looking at what I'm seeing, Mayato doesn't look like he wants to be behind the 88. But now we've seen how aggressive these guys were in the middle of the race. And now how aggressive they're going to be with these final 30 or so, or 29 or so laps to go. Hutton's going to look down to the bottom. Noel's going to block. Look at that. Eric Hutton down to the inside. What does Mayato do? Mayato's going to take him 3 wide to the inside.
Noel got really loose in turn 3 and 4, and he's going to back right out of it.
Backs out, but now Hutton and Mayato are going to be side by side up the corner. Look at the run that Seth Noel's going to have. Not going to be enough. He'll slot back in line. Bafford tucks in behind him, and then Seth Hatchell now become a 5-man race for the win. About a second and a half back is Chris Samard and Ryan Gimmel, but now to the inside. Keith Mayato underneath Eric Hutton. What does Hatchell do? What does Seth Noel do on the front stretch?
Going to be side by side. Here comes Noel. Is he going to make the move that Mayato made?
Oh, no, he's going to push Mayato.
Interesting move right there. He had an opportunity, but maybe trying to force those guys into mistakes, too. That's another way to do it, as Mayato just not able to clear the 88.
They don't want to burn their tires up too soon. There's still only about to be 27 to go. You don't want to burn your tires up. That's what you don't want to do here. Still a long way to go till we get to the checkered flag.
Tell you what, entering turn 3, these guys They are skating. It's like they're on ice out there, especially with the cloud cover now. I think we've dropped in track temp by about 10 degrees since the start of this race. It's down to 105, which is still really high, but it's not as hot as it was when we started. So it's a little bit different handling conditions out there, side by side for the race lead, Mayato and Hutton.
A lot faster track conditions, a lot faster speeds going into the corner, and a lot more on edge these cars are going to get. And look at Seth Noel down. Look at this. Just cannot. He wants to take you through, but I think he's thinking better of it. It's too early.
On board with Ben Baffert. Heard him lift just a little bit right there at the entry to 3, trying to save that race car as Noel got loose in front of him. And they're going to be nose to tail here. Too wide for the race lead across the stripe.
Comes Noel. Look, he's going to take it 3 wide. Noel, a 29 to the inside. Can he throw it in enough to clear both? Yes, he can. What a send by Seth Noel. He's going to lose a little bit of time on exit. Is it going to be enough? Mayato not able to clear.
Yeah, and now Hutton's
talking behind him.
Yeah, but they are side by side now. Is Hutton going to force his way through? No. Going to stay right in line with the 29. Shove him down into the corner. And man,
Noel got loose.
Seth Noel, though, he has made a couple of those moves where you're just like, there's no way that car sticks. And he has been able to make 2 or 3 passes at a time. Very impressive race for him tonight.
Yeah, he's been doing great. He had a great run at Talladega last week and lost in a photo finish. Is it time for redemption already in week 2 of his BTDY Cup Series career? Hutton, Mayato, side by side off of 2, just what Seth Noel wants to see behind him, side by side.
Yeah, Noel starting to pull a little bit of a gap, just a couple car lengths, but you got to know that takes the pressure off him a little bit. Doesn't have to push the car quite as hard. And, oh, he is really loose again down into turn 3, though, and Hutton might be able to close up.
These drivers are absolutely just sending it into the corners, especially Seth Noel. And we've seen going into turn 3, these cars getting really light over that transition. But now Hutton's closing in. He doesn't have a push from Mayato. What does he do? He looks down to the inside, gets a peek, getting some cleaner to the nose. Is he going to be able to fight and get underneath that 29? No, he can't.
Gonna be a little tight on exit, but you can see he forced.
This might be a mistake by Noel. If he can jump up, Hutton's just gonna push him into the corner.
Right on top of the 29. He is right there. Has to back off though through 3 and 4 a little bit, and Mayato up the track, almost catches the wall. Big wiggle there at the last second. And Ben Baffert all over his tail. Seth Hatchell right here as well. Seth's kind of just been quiet here in these last couple runs, doing what he needs.
We can't forget about the 6 and the 37, the Gimel and Samar. They could be playing it safe, saving their stuff, waiting till the end. They're about to be closing in on about 20 laps to go. Still a long way to go here at Michigan.
And Mayato is sliding out of the corners now, so he may have used it up too soon. We'll have to wait and see if he can cool those tires down and regroup. But right now it is Seth Noel. Zach Carr, the lap machine, out in front. Zach is 12 laps down, about to go 13 if he gets passed up here.
And he is going to go, I think he's now 14 laps down. Well, he puts him a lap ahead of Dennis Faircloth, who's been a little bit faster than him these last few laps. Well, not that time, but nonetheless, still a great battle up for the lead and a great fight for Zach Carr, trying to stay ahead of Seth Hatchell, who will be battling for the regular season championship.
Yeah, it's going to come down to single digits here after 12 races. So that's how competitive it's been here in this field for the championship. And that just goes to show the kind of drivers that are racing out here. This has been a heck of a battle up here in the top 10 all race long. Obviously, the early problems at the back of the field, taking out about half of the field early on. But these guys at the front, they have absolutely been putting on a show, even with the limited amount of drivers out here.
Yes, they have. These guys have been putting on a great show, and that's why we love coming out here on Tuesday nights and watching these boys do battle, because it is a heck of a show every week. You know, when the Below the WLI Cup Series comes up here on YouTube and on VSPEED, it's going to be a heck of a show, and we're glad that you're sticking it out with us. Only 20 laps to go, and we have 7 cars battling for the win at Michigan.
Yeah, honestly, this race has gone quite a bit faster than expected because of those early cautions. And clean and green ever since then. But 300 miles is the distance we're going to cover here unless we get an overtime finish. How about the run this time for Hutton?
Can Hutton throw it into the corner and clear Noel? He's been doing that. Noel's been the only one that's able to do that. You can see Baffert chases the nose up the track. Hutton able to clear right in front of the 29. He's going to be able to do it. The 88 to the point. Here comes Baffert up to the inside. Noel telling him that is the last time he's going to lift for him.
Oh man, I'm holding my breath every single time they go to make passes out here tonight. It's been so close on the exit of the corners, man. I just about oh man, I just about choked out there. I wasn't breathing. That was quite a moment for those guys, but definitely a big move there by the 29 to back out. Could have ended in disaster for everybody involved as the top seven still. Oh my gosh, just send down to the inside for the 23.
Baffert up to the inside, and he'll take the lead from Eric Hutton. Hutton's going to slide in behind. Look at these guys pinballing right bumper to bumper now. Behind them, the VSPEED teammates starting to catch up with Mayato and Seth Hatchell.
Don't forget Gemmel looking for that first win this season. He's been up in the mix in a lot of races. I think 2 or 3 runner-ups this season alone. Chris Simard looking for some success. I think he's got a podium this season. He's had some really good speed in a few races. Just hasn't had the ability to close them out. So we'll see if he can do it here tonight and get his first career win in the league.
And here comes Simard up to the outside of Gemmel. That'll be for the 6th position, trying to slide himself behind Seth Hatchell. He'll have the draft down the straightaway, and he'll be able to clear Gemmel for the 6th position. But up at the front, it's going to be between Baffert, Hutton, and then now Noel looks down to the inside of the 88, down to the quarter panel, now next to the door, side by side down the straightaway. What does the 36 do with the massive run that he's going to get down the straightaway? Look at that run, a push from the 8. Does he take it 3 wide?
He's already done it once tonight, but this time I think he got there a little too late to make that move. But he'll stay in line, and you see these guys behind him. They're syncing up pretty well as Simard now makes the move to the outside of Hatchell.
Simard's starting to show that he's getting a little impatient. He wants to get up to the front, but a push from the 88 to now the 29 to Seth Noel. Noel checks up for Baffert. What does he do? Can he stick it underneath the 23? Not going to be enough. He loses the nose. 15 laps to go at the stripe.
On board here with Eric Hutton as he looks towards the 2 race leaders. A couple lap cars up there off in the distance. Actually 4 of them out there in the distance.
It's going to shake things up.
Man, they are absolutely flying. It's so cool to see them fly down into turn 1 like that. Over 200 miles an hour into that corner as they slow it down to about 170 in 1 and 2. But the battle at the front, Baffert out in the race lead. He's led 45 laps tonight. It's been a really good race for him. Seth Noel 30.
Oh, Hutton! Hutton up the racetrack! Gets doored. Hatchell into the outside wall!
Oh man, let's go back and see that. I didn't quite catch what happened. Mayato sent it in, and then contact with Hutton as they were converging at that point on the racetrack. Definitely, I think a little bit unexpected from Mayato. But he slips up there, gets into the 88, and that sends the 8 of Hatchell off into the outside barrier, and that's going to probably cost Hatchell a shot at the regular season championship unless the top 6 all get involved in something here, which is not out of the question.
And then looking at these guys, that kind of it's gonna maybe mess up Seth Noel, who's gonna need that push to try to get up to Ben Baffert. We've seen Mayato; he's desperate for that when he's been able to just. You've seen a different Keith Mayato these last few races. He's been more aggressive. Can he get his first win of the season? Can Seth Noel get his first career win along with Chris Simard, Eric Hutton, and then Ryan Gemmel, all looking for their first wins of the season, except Ben Baffert, who's leading this race.
Yeah, so I think we'll probably have a new winner unless it's Baffert or Hatchell. One of these guys either getting their first season win or first career win. So that's a couple cool talking points there. It'd be nice to. Yeah, Robert Gilmore in the way there, but going to be able to kind of stay up on the high side, out of the way, as the leaders will file on by, so no issues there. Closing in on 10 laps to go. The next car up the road, I think that's McGarvey. No, that's Timmy Emanuele, 15th position, 3 laps down in the 39 machine. And then there's another one up in front of him. I think that might be one of the Sulfridges, as well as, I think, Kyle McGarvey, not too far off in the distance. So it's going to shake things up if they catch him in the wrong spot.
Yes, it is. It's going to get wild and crazy. Coming out, closing in on 10 laps to go, coming to 11 to go at the line here. See, Noel, he keeps trying to get underneath that 23. Is he going to be able to do it? He's going to have to move him up the racetrack. But now you can see him losing the nose. Now, what does the 36 do? Who's got to run? The 37, his teammate right behind him.
And they kind of got broken up right there. Mayato got a big pull from the cars in front, and Samar just not close enough.
It's going to be interesting here. Where do they run up on Emanuele here? Looks like they'll catch him on the straightaway. If not, they're going to catch him going into turn 3. And where does Emanuele go? Does it hurt Baffert? Does it hurt Noel? Does everything stay the same? Look at the run that Noel's going to have. Is he going to try to pin him behind the lap car?
He is going to try to make the move down low, but not quite there. As Emanuele up the racetrack. They're not even going to catch him out of turn number 4, so that's how fast the 39 is still. Even with a bit of damage, he's been...
Mayato looks down to the inside. Where does Baffert go? Baffert goes down to the bottom. The 70 is going to run the inside. It's really going to check things up here. They're going to be 3 wide with the lap car. Sulfridge down on the inside, now up to the middle. He's going to go side by side with Baffert. That's going to pin Noel. Noel's going to have to check up.
That is a huge moment as Noel has to check up, and that's going to allow the 2 VSPEED teammates through, as well as Eric Hutton.
Now Hutton, Gimmel's closing up to the 88. Now the 8's back in the fight.
Oh man, you know Seth Noel's just going to be so mad after that moment. So unfortunate and frustrating to get caught behind a lap car. And then these guys just fly on past you when you've been up there fighting for it. How about this? Here comes Mayato, going to make the move.
Mayato looks down to the inside. Is he going to get tight? Not going to be enough. Mayato's going to be side by side. What does Chris Samard do? Does he help his teammate? Does he go for the win? He looks like he's going to help his teammate right now. Can he push him past?
He's trying to right now, and he is going to send him down.
Mayato down into the lead. The 36, he's played it strong all night. He's going to lead his first lap of the night now. There's going to be 8 laps to go at the line. What does Noel do? Noel behind them side by side. Noel looks down to the middle. Contact with the 37 to the 23.
Mayato is out in front by almost a quarter second right there. Here comes Baffert, the big send in the corner. We went to the wrong camera. Oh boy, as the 23 almost got there.
No, he can't. Just not enough. Mayato gets loose off the corner. Look at the run Samard's going to have. Baffert down to the inside.
Oh my goodness, I'm still holding my breath like every time.
Baffert to the inside. He's going to clear him. The run the 36 and the 37 are going to have. Mayato looks down, looks high. Baffert a block. Here comes Samar down to the inside. He sends it up the middle.
3 wide contact.
23.
Samard to the lead. Here comes Baffert though.
Baffert back down to the inside. He's going to get tight. He's going to get really tight. Look at the run. The 36 down with a big push up the outside.
How did they not make contact? But here comes Mayato. You know, Keith has talked about pushing Chris to his first win here. It might just come to fruition at Michigan tonight. Gemmel making his way forward here in the late moments. He's got Baffert behind him, Hutton up on the high side. Here comes Hatchell back into the fold. Up at the front, though, the top 3 in line.
See, they're side by side for the 4th position. It looks like Hutton's going to be able to clear clear Gemmel, but they're still side by side. What does Seth Noel do? Does he try to get up and mix it up? Can Chris Samard hang on? There's contact behind them. The 88 and the 6 banging doors off of turn 2.
Oh my goodness, this is just some wild stuff here in the closing moments. It's going to be 5 laps to go next time. Man, he has just been so good on the entry to turn 3 late in the run.
Man. Behind them, there's some contact with Gemmel and Baffert. Look at Noel down to the inside. They door down the front stretch. Baffert and Gemmel getting into it down the front stretch.
Looks like they settled it out, though. They're all single file. Noel trying again. Going to try and make the move on Mayato. Can he clear him?
For second? No, he can't. He's going to get tight. Laps winding down. 5 laps to go for Michigan. What does Eric Hutton do? Does Mayato try to keep content right behind his teammate?
Oh, pushing the pusher right there. That's a dangerous moment, but they survive down into turn 3. Mayato up the track a little bit. Here comes Hutton, maybe going to look to the inside. Not able to get there.
He can. He's broken the bubble. What does he do? He pushes the 37. Is it gonna, or the 36 to the 37? Does the 36 do anything? No, he doesn't. He stays behind his teammate. Noel down to the inside. Ascend. Look at Noel.
He's gonna clear him.
Job. He does it. What a move.
But Simard is right there. He'll have the momentum. Is he gonna get a push? Is there gonna be a block? There is a block. Here comes Mayato. Can he push his teammate to the lead again? 4 laps to go. Coming to 3 laps to go. Simard's gonna have to send it, and he sends it deep.
He's cleared him. He's cleared him. He's got to get up.
He's
Simard
there.
got it. He did it. Now what is? Oh, look at the push that the 29's gonna have. What does the 29
Oh.
do? He almost gets turned.
3 laps to go. I'm gonna be holding my breath for 3 more laps, but I'm somehow still gonna be able to talk over this. Side by side for second. This is what Simard needs.
They cannot stall each other out. They're coming to 2 laps to go at the Michigan International Speedway. Look at the 29, a Seth, Noel, a big push from the 88. What does he do? Simard in the lead. Hatchell running up on the outside.
Contact.
Gibble gets turned.
Saves
Gibble
it.
saves it. He's still loose, but up at the front. Chris Simard side by side.
And Mayato doing everything he can to try and keep that 29 at bay. He knows how strong.
Baffert down to the inside, 3 wide and a 1.
Oh, this is not gonna work, boys.
My goodness. No, he's gonna make it work. He's gonna get tight off the corner though. Oh my goodness, look at that, 3 wide. This is exactly what Chris Simard wants to see.
It's exactly what he needs. The gap just under 0.2 of a second. Simard looking for his first career win. Could it come here in the regular season finale? Side by side contact, Mayato and Noel contact.
Oh, Mayato's loose. Up the racetrack. Wide flag, 1 more lap to go for Michigan. Hutton down to the inside. They don't want to stall each other out. Chris Simard, first win on the line. They door.
Oh my goodness, Chris Simard, you know he's breathing hard. His heart's racing. Seth Noel in second, closing back in. He'll have the draft here on the backstretch. He's going to have to send it in deeper than he sent it all night. Gets a little tight out of turn 2. He's probably going to be too far back. A long ways back to the start-finish line, though.
Is it going to be enough? Noel, ascend to the inside. Not going to be enough. Off of turn 4. 4 different winners. Chris Simard, he's going to make it 5. Down the front stretch, 1 final battle. Chris Simard is a winner in the Below the Double Yellow Line Cup Series.
Oh my goodness. Oh, I'm so happy for Chris, man. That has been so long coming, and what a battle. He made the move on Seth Noel. That pass is what sealed that race for him. What a battle here tonight. Oh my goodness. I'm choked up right now for Chris. This is amazing for him. I am so happy for him. And Seth Noel, you know, he has got to be so frustrated. He had good opportunities over and over. It was the best car, I think, in those late laps. He'll come home in second tonight for the 2nd week in a row. Oh, man, that is a heartbreaker for him.
What a race. Chris Simard. Gonna burn it down here. Oh, and he gets towed from Emanuele.
And
what a win.
Oh my gosh, what an incredible last 15 laps of racing we saw tonight. This was just absolutely amazing stuff by these guys here at Michigan to close out the regular season. Chris Simard will win the race. Seth Noel second, Ben Baffert third, Eric Hutton fourth, Seth Hatchell with the top 5. Probably not enough for the championship here in the regular season. We'll see if they tally the points for us. But we're going to cut to commercial break, compose ourselves, grab these guys for the post-race interview, and maybe we'll have the numbers on the regular season championship and pull in that driver as well. So thank you for tuning in with us. We'll be right back for those interviews.
Simulators Anonymous is an online gaming community. The heart of this community is playing simulator-style games, everything from driving, farming, flying, to the occasional survival game. We would love for you to join us. If you play these style of games, or if you're just looking for a great community, we strive to be a community you can be an active participant in by offering events like every third Saturday night is a late night trucking on Truckers MP. We have a very own Minecraft server and with other servers starting soon. Come join Simulators Anonymous today at www.simulatorsanonymous.com.
And back at the racetrack now, going to be pulling in our third place finisher first. That is Ben Bafford, who started on the pole, led 52 laps tonight. And Alec, I believe you're with him.
Yes, I am. Ben Bafford, you led the most laps all night. You came up close. A great battle with the 37, the 29, the 88. Pretty much everybody that was in that front pack, man. What did you need to get those extra 2 spots?
It was mostly line. If I could get up to the top and pick through the cars a little bit better, I think I could have got maybe to the lead. Gave Chris Samar a run for his money down in '03. That was a phenomenal race, and hats off to really everybody in that pack for holding it together. That was some of the best racing I've ever had, regardless of the draft package we have, which is pretty awful.
Absolutely, man. I know you come up shy for the chase, but next week I think it's the All-Star race. I don't know if we're going to do that at, but how do you feel going into an All-Star race and then trying to, not being a part of the chase, but how are you going to try to approach the chase?
I want to win every single race.
Oh, that's the confidence I like to hear.
Yeah.
All right, man. Well, before we let you go, anybody you want to give a shout-out tonight?
Yeah, a shout out to everybody in that pack. Amazing racing. Everybody plenty of room. I think I netcoded somebody at the end. I'm not sure who, but yeah, hats off to those guys.
All right, man. Well, congrats on your third place finish, man, and we'll see you at the All-Star race next week.
About it.
All right, third place finisher Ben Bafford. Let's go now to second place finisher Seth Noel. And here, let's put
Yes.
Seth Noel, Adam in the VSPEED booth. You got a copy?
Yes.
Hey, man, a fantastic race out there for you. You led so much of this race. Man, some of those moves you made just blew our minds up here in the booth. We couldn't believe you could make that car stick and make some of those passes you did, but come up one position short in the closing moments. Describe this race from your perspective, especially the last little bit there.
Well, man, this package is frustrating, to say the least, to race. You can feel like you've got like 5 or 6% better tires, and you're just kind of judging yourself like a plate track off everyone else. So you're just sitting there trying to get to people's right rear, trying to keep people off your right rear. It's very frustrating.
Yeah, we did see also you got kind of pinned behind the lap machine, which I think set you back a little farther than you probably would have liked there. But some of those moves that you made down to the inside, is that just a moment where you go, I'm gonna send it in and hope it sticks, or were you really calculating and knowing that the car was gonna hang on there for you?
I had made moves earlier in the race that I had a feeling it would stick, but I didn't know if it would. It was like I ain't got a shot to win if I don't throw this.
Right. Yeah, it definitely came down to making some bold moves and hoping. I think for a lot of drivers out there, it got so wild in those last few laps, but what a great show from our perspective. And you come up here in second, 36 laps led. Definitely had one of the cars to beat throughout the race. We do go to the All-Star event next week. We're still not sure about, about where that's going to be at. But following that is the start of the chase. I know you're not in it, just joining the league last week. But how do you feel about going out there and trying to play spoiler for about 8 races?
Oh, I'm gonna win out every race, all of them. I ain't got nothing for me.
Ben Bafford already said the same response. So I guess it's gonna be between you two guys for the rest of the season. So, anyways,
no, that's one. It's just me.
Love it.
Yeah, some good confidence there. So we like to see that. We'll see how it works out for you, though. But amazing racing here tonight, and thanks for putting on a great show for us. Anybody you want to give a shout out to?
Hey, shout out keeping that race green, man. I know it started off a little rocky, but we had 3 green flag pit stops there. I got Rexus on the car, so you got to shout out Rexus. Thanks for the broadcasting. And hey, Alec.
Hey,
Hey, Alec.
hey.
We finished second.
Yeah.
We
You're
did.
you're on a good streak, man.
I am second.
Oh, yes, you are.
All right. Well, I appreciate you guys broadcasting tonight, and that's about all I got.
All right, Seth. Well, thanks for the time here. Great run tonight, and we will catch you hopefully next week.
Point.
Congrats, Seth.
Go to our race winner now. That is going to be Chris Simard, number 37 machine. For the first time, a winner in the Below the Double Yellow Cup Series. Started 7th, leads 7 laps. Got number 37 on the side. He is the race winner here. Chris Simard, you got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Well, Chris, I know how happy you must be to finally get that monkey off your back. It's been so long. It's been a long time coming for you. And, man, a couple great moves in the closing laps there. A little help from your teammate, Keith Mayato. But how does it feel to get a race win tonight?
Oh, it feels great. I'm kind of exhausted running tonight. It was a great feeling. I have to thank Keith there for helping me out when I got in the lead. He kept pushing me a little bit, and then just everyone on our the team VSPEED, we were working together, trying to get up to the front, and it was exhausting, but I'm happy. I know I don't sound like it, but I'm really happy. So.
Well, I know you're sick too, and so this must be so satisfying to be able to get a victory when you're not feeling great. It's maybe going to lift your spirits a little bit. And the longest race of the season, the final race of the regular season, and you guarantee yourself into the chase. With the performance here tonight, you were not guaranteed in coming into the race. But how does it feel to be moving on to the chase races and have a shot at the championship this season?
Oh, it feels good to actually race my way in and win and get in. That gives me a lot of confidence. The races that we're going to are the tracks I really enjoy. There's one track, Chicagoland, that I'm 50-50 on, but every other track I enjoy. I like the setup that we have. Watkins Glen for one of them. I hope I do good there, and I'm excited about the chase. I'm excited. I haven't been this excited for a while, so.
Yeah, I know a win will definitely do that to you. It'll restore your confidence, and man, you've been knocking on the door all season, some fantastic speed, and you finally close one out here with the lucky sevens there. Started 7th, 7 laps led, the 37 on the car. The Epping Express to victory lane tonight. Anybody you want to give a shout out to for the victory?
Oh, just all the sponsors of the league, Martin Sports, Simulators Anonymous, Martin Sports, I think I said that. Everyone up at the booth, Alec and you Adam up in the booth. My VSPEED teammates, they helped me out a lot, especially the last bunch of weeks where I've wrecked myself, and they've just picked me up and helped me out along the way. You have as well, so and my wife and son. So
awesome, Chris. Well, so happy for you, man. Finally get that first win, and go into the All-Star race next week and the chase with a lot of confidence and a lot of momentum behind you. So go celebrate with those boys, and we'll talk to you soon.
Yes, sir. I wanted to start tomorrow. That would be awesome. I can't wait.
Thank you.
So.
Yeah.
Congrats, man.
Thank you.
All right. You can hear how tired he is. I know he's been sick with something here the last week or so, and he's got hip surgery coming up. So it's a tough time to run 300 miles even in a simulator. And how satisfying it must be to find victory lane here for the first
nothing
time.
like winning, man. Nothing like winning. So happy for him. He's been in this league a long time, and man, he's had so close. And just for it to finally all come together tonight, and it's awesome to see these guys win, man. And what a race in general. That was awesome. So congrats to Chris Simard, and hope all you viewers enjoyed it, because that, let me tell you, was a heck of a race.
Yeah, and it was a lot faster than I expected, right? Two cautions.
Might have been able to have After Dark. I don't know, but
yeah. It's still been a long race either way. But two cautions tonight, both coming in the first 10 laps of the race, and then it went green from there on out, and we had 7 cars fighting for the win there in the closing moments. 23 lead changes, and Chris Simard able to hold him off for the last few laps. Satisfying win for him, his first here in the league, and he's moving on to the chase. Seth Noel finishes in the 2nd position. Great race from him. Ben Bafford, the pole sitter, comes home 3rd. Eric Hutton, also up there all night, finishes 4th. Seth Hatchell 5th. Keith Mayato finishes in 6th. Ryan Gemmel finishes in 7th as the last one in that lead group. Angelo Ronas finishes 8th. Dallas Sullivan finishes in 9th, and Nick Starling going to round out the top 10.
Reggie Ortega will finish in 11th. Jeremiah Vincent will finish in 12th. Kyle McGarvey 13th. Timmy Emanuele 14th. Lyle Sulfridge 15th. Robert Gilmore finishes 16th. Zach Carr, who looks like will be the regular season champion, will finish in 17th. Dennis Faircloth in 18th. Kenny Bishop, who will come just short of making the chase, will finish in 19th. And Jordan Shepler will be finishing 20th.
21st was Cosman. 22nd, Eric Lambert. 23rd, Cody Adkins. 24th, AJ Stravato, who never even got a chance to try and fight for that regular season championship tonight, so unfortunate for him. TJ Brendel finishes 25th. Josiah Vincent 26th. 27th, Alan Dice. And rounding out the field, Zach Smith in that number 1 machine in 28th position tonight. So if Zach Carr is still here, I think we'd like to talk to him about the regular season championship.
Let me pull him down, yeah.
Right, let's see if we can get a word in quickly with him.
Hey, Zach.
Hello.
You got a copy. How you doing?
I'm just going all right, I guess.
So, if I'm thinking about this right, looking at the points and everything, would like to tell you congratulations. You are the regular season champion.
Thanks, guys. I honestly have no clue how that happened after how this race started.
Yeah, so, I mean, obviously 4 wins this season. You've done a great job this year. 4 wins, tying with AJ Stravato this year. Now you got I think you got a little extra bonus points and a little extra cash money going into the chase. How are you feeling now? That obviously the All-Star race next week, but how do we feel going into the chase next week or 2 weeks from now?
Feeling pretty good. I feel like I found a little bit more information on this car in the last few weeks that we've been running, minus Talladega, of course. Yeah, so I'm a little hyped to get into this playoff or chase, I guess. I'm just gonna have to have consistent runs and just make sure we don't do what we did tonight.
Well, you'll be happy to know since you won at Talladega, the first race of the chase is at Daytona. So, a little something still. So, like I said, congrats. Anybody you want to give a shout out? Obviously, winning this regular season championship. Anybody you want to give a shout out to?
I just want to give a shout out to you guys on the broadcast. The league owners, the sponsors for the league. My team. Obviously, we worked together really good this season and so far. And obviously, my sponsor, Creative Hemp. Really good to have on my car every week. I feel bad this week. Kind of just binned the car lap 1, kind of got out from underneath me, and everybody I think kind of had that problem on lap 1. So sorry to them on that, but we'll get them back next week at Daytona.
Yeah, brother. Heck yeah. All right, man. Congratulations, man, and we'll talk to you next week at wherever we race the All-Star race at.
All right, thanks, guys. See you there.
All right, have a good night, man.
That is the regular season champion, Zach Carr. 2 seasons in a row, he's been the regular season champion, and that's going to give him a little bit of a bonus to kick things off in the chase. So I'm sure...
Like a little bonus.
Yeah, it's going to be very welcome for him, and we'll see if he can actually get the championship this year at the end of the season. It's been another fantastic year for him, just this was a bit of a rough race, but able to, have enough of a margin leading into it and able to hang on for it tonight. So really good job. Oh, go ahead.
I'm sorry. Before we go, I just want to say the entire regular season, everybody here at Below the WL line has put on just a great season so far. These next-gen cars, these drivers have put on just a great show, and hopefully all you viewers that have been tuning in, thank you guys for sticking it out with us at the in this league on Tuesday night. So hope you guys have been enjoying it. I know for sure I've been enjoying it, and again, thank you to Adam for having me come up here and being able to do this. So this has been awesome, and man, if you thought the regular season was great, I can't wait. You guys should, I guarantee you guys definitely should show up. I recommend, actually I encourage you to show up for the playoffs here on the next upcoming Tuesday nights. And the next Tuesday night we got the All-Star race, so it's going to be awesome, going to be absolutely crazy. The regular season's over, and it's just going to get better and it's just going to get better going into the playoffs.
Yeah, I'm so excited for it. The intensity always ramps up just a little bit more, so much more on the line to try and chase that championship. But again, yeah, like Alex said, thank you so much for tuning in tonight. If you did enjoy, make sure to like and subscribe. We'll be right back here on Thursday night with the BMW Car Club of America National Capital Chapter Sim Racing League from the Nürburgring. So you won't want to miss that. Should be a lot of fun to catch that action. And then we'll be right back here next Tuesday with the All-Star Race. And then the following week, we'll kick off the chase for the championship. So that's going to be a lot of fun next few weeks. And make sure to tune in. Make sure to follow us on our social media to stay up to date with what we're doing throughout the week. And until next time, have a great night.